Hold up. Wait a minute.
All right, we're really doing it now. All right.
Run it back.
For like the third time. God fucking damn it.
All
right.
Start of the podcast.
Yeah, start of the podcast right now. This is a continuation of last week's. We got David and Chance here. We got Sean. We got Tyson. We got Kylie. And we got Marissa here. And we got Calvin. So, yeah, Burleson's finest here. The thing I was going to open this podcast with, we're talking about marketing. I kind of feel like it's like hard to establish yourself in people's minds as like somebody to go to for tattooing, because it's like, you know, it's probably more competitive now than it's ever been, because there's so many motherfuckers doing it, and there's so many people that want tattoos that don't really know what the fuck to look for. So the comparison that I make is like, you know, we're trying to be to 20-year-old kids what Pioneer Woman is to 40-something-year-old women shopping for dishes at fucking Walmart. But yeah, I mean, like, there's just a lot of people fucking doing it, and it's I mean, it's kind of hard to get established as a tattooer, and I think that that's like something that a lot of these like really young kids getting into tattooing don't necessarily have sight of, is that, like, you know, it's like the pursuit of, or like the process of marketing yourself begins like from day one, from the first, when you first make your Instagram or whatever, make your post. Yeah, it's fucking, I don't know. Like, what do you guys, Tyson, you probably rely mostly on like word of mouth?
Well, I mean, I think for us and for, the best way to do is try to stand out. Just do good tattoos. Just treat people with respect. You know what I'm saying? Like what I used to do when I was younger is I'd go out and go to a restaurant or a bar, and I would bring my drawings, and I would draw there for tattoos the next day, and people would see them, and they would come up and talk to me. It would be like an icebreaker, and I'd pass out my card. And that was a little easy for me, and I think it still could be done today.
Yeah, 100%.
But a lot of it's just doing good work, man. Just doing good work and being a good person. What helped me change, I used to have like a little bit of a cocky attitude around here, because a lot of people would tell me, oh man, you're so good. And maybe I'm good, but there's people that are way better than me, and you have to realize that. So you have to push yourself to get better. But you can't let yourself get stagnant by, you know, getting stuck in that one spot where you think you're good because everybody else is telling you you're good. You got to keep pushing it. The main thing, man, I'm lost.
I agree with you though. Like just partially just going out, because like that's what I do. So I'm, for context, there's a cigar lounge here in town. I go out every Saturday, or it was every Thursday with Chance of all people. Whenever I first, when I was still an apprentice, first an apprentice, and just hanging out there the last 2 years, I've gotten clients from that way.
Yeah.
Just passing out cards to people who know me and see me progress through my own work. And
Yeah, especially for the younger crowd, it should be a little easier for y'all to get out there and do it, because that's when I was doing it the most. And like, I've also tried to stay in this general area. Like, I bounced back and forth from the city, but I always noticed some customers aren't willing to make that drive. And you can say, oh, it's because you're not good enough, or if you're good enough, they'll make that drive. Well, no, just some people don't want to do it, you know, some people, but they just waited till I came back around this area, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of them did come, but they didn't come as frequently. So I wanted to try to find a spot where I could grow and live, and, you know, people will know, like, you know, like a friendly neighborhood tattoo artist, you know what I'm saying? I want people to know me for that and doing good work. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's really what counts. I had customers when I was younger. They would be like, "Oh man, he does good work, but he's an asshole."
Yeah.
If you can get past that part, you might get a good tattoo. Well, dude, that's no way to make money. And I didn't make as much money as I do now until I started just, you know, everybody's human. Everybody deserves a nice tattoo. That's what they're coming in here for.
Yeah.
And so taking the time to get to know them and figuring out what they want, it's really not that hard. And a lot of what I had back then, like, I'll always use this term, it's just lack of knowledge. I don't say, oh, hey, you're a super bad artist. It's just you're lacking the knowledge that to be a better artist. That's really what it comes down to. A lot of us don't go to school, or we drop out of school. We don't have college degrees or whatever. Well, you can't just learn how to tattoo without learning how to tattoo. So just like people go to school to learn how to do stuff, that we're skipping that part. So the whole apprenticeship and learning and drawing and picking up books and reading them, that's what it takes to be a better tattoo artist. That's gaining the knowledge you need. And I've learned from being an artist, not a tattooer, just being an artist painting in different mediums has helped me become a better tattoo artist. So I don't even think you can call yourself an artist unless you experiment with different mediums.
Yeah.
And you can just call yourself a tattooer or just
Yeah.
a painter of acrylics or watercolor. But I think experimenting with it all is what educates you. Picking up the books, following the first initial steps. Because we're not going to school, we're not being educated. None of us are going to art schools right now. And most of the artists that do have that advantage have been to art schools that are doing some of those crazy, oil painting style tattoos on large scales that'll hopefully look like that for a long time. That takes that knowledge, that painting knowledge, So I think we have to learn that when we lose sight of that. A lot of us do.
Yeah.
We have fun or we get stuck, stagnant. Because people do, and they tell us all the time, your customers always say it. And because you're doing the tattoo, if you make a mistake, because you're doing the tattoo that it's not good, it's not worth the money you're probably overcharging the people for as well, because you're the one doing it.
Yeah.
So you have to get better. That's what helps bring your business in. I've never advertised. I just do good tattoos, and I treat people with respect, and I try to work with them on their designs. It's their tattoo, and yes, you can say all these other things. Well, I do this and I do this style and blah blah blah. But dude, it doesn't come down to that. It comes down to doing a good tattoo for the customer. And if you can't do it, just pass it to somebody that can. Be humble enough to do that.
Yeah.
We don't do oil painting tattoos here. We don't do hyperrealism. We don't even really do a lot of biomech. So I refer those to shops that I know that can do it and that do good work. I might not even know the artist there, but I'll send it to that shop because I follow them or seen their work and I know they put out that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I want the customer to get that. That's how we're going to help our industry grow and get past the negative outlook that people have on it. And every time tattoo artists that want to get in it for the wrong reasons or think it's easy money and they don't want to work a real job, it is a real job. It's a career. It's something I've raised my daughter on, paid all my bills on, paid off my truck on, and I've never had to rip anybody off. I charge people fairly. I just do nice, clean tattoos the best of my ability, and I don't do stuff I can't do. It is the future, and you guys are all younger. You should be able to manage your iPads and your Instagrams and shit, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know me, I'm a pencil drawer. I'm not good with social media, but that's not a good excuse. Like you were saying earlier, I can't do this. Well, I can't draw, so I'm learning how to draw. I can't fuck with social media, but I can learn how to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really fuck with the iPads, and y'all do, but when I do, I ask y'all questions. I have no problem. Y'all know more about it than I do. I have no problems at all asking y'all for help on the iPad. I ask you all the time, hey, how do I make this circle a perfect circle? You know what I'm saying?
This is
And
like
y'all show me. You know
the
what I'm
most
saying? I don't even
humbling
know how to
job
do
I've
that.
ever
Well,
fucking had.
you got to
Yeah,
be
you should
able
for
to be
sure.
a good
But I don't
student.
mess with it. I don't practice with it enough. That's my bad, That's what it is. It's just lack of knowledge. You just got to gain that knowledge.
Yeah.
And you guys are the younger crowd. You should take advantage of the Instagrams and the Facebooks and all that shit, I'm just trying to make it sound weirder than it is. But yeah, dude, but that's on y'all. It's like you said, it's 2024. It's not when I was coming up in early 2000, before most of this there wasn't even social media when I was apprenticing, you know. I had to get a tattoo little fold out thing that would have all the flash on it to see what sets of flash you wanted to buy to put in the shop.
Yeah.
And there might be, that's how I saw the artists from other states and shops in the back, because they didn't even have books out, or it was hard to buy their sketchbooks. There was no traveling, you know, there wasn't even a shop where you could buy supplies like it had in Arlington for a long time.
Yeah,
now
Unimax.
they have these trucks that drive around, super convenient. I had to order, we had to send in proof that we're even tattoo artists just to get a distributor to believe us to send us gear.
Yep.
And
Now
Yeah.
you can hop on Amazon Prime and
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
You can get, you
but
can
that's
get a little
that's
dragon
also the
hot
issue
machine,
too,
a
because
stencil
now
machine, everything.
people that don't have any
would know.
business buying the stuff are buying the stuff
Yeah.
because everybody can get it now.
Yeah, it's more
That's-
accessible. Yeah.
It's not fair to the actual people that are doing the apprenticeships.
Yeah.
And there are the diamonds in the rough that come out badass, no tattoos on their body, but they somehow figured it out on their own.
Yeah.
And it's you can naturally have that talent. It's really not that hard to figure out how to tattoo. You just don't hurt people. Just go into a tattoo not trying to hurt them, and you'll usually do a good job without hurting them.
Yeah.
You reminded me of something funny that I got not long ago. Where you're talking about how anybody was just picking up machines off Amazon and stuff and just tattooing. So I had
Talking to his mic.
I had somebody message me not that long ago and was like, "Hey, I have a question. How much would you normally charge for a chest?" I'm reading the messages right now. She said, "How much would you normally charge for a chest tattoo across, I think, 6 inches by 10 inches?" And then she sends me this reference photos that are like 3 very different tattoos, but they're the fucking Browning logo, fishing hook, wooden cross, like, but they're all very different.
Kill
So
me
I was like, she's like, "It's for my friend." And I was like, "Well, can you tell your friend to come by the shop for a consultation?" And I go over the design options, and I'll be able to give an exact quote. This is what she said, dude. She said, "Well, I'm actually the one doing the tattoo for him, but he wants to pay me for it, and I don't know what I should charge."
You shouldn't. You should just,
Yeah.
you should just
Fuck,
not
dude,
do
I was
that.
like,
how did you respond to that?
I didn't. I just
yeah,
left her on
I
red.
would've
I was
had
like,
some
the
words.
fucking nerd.
That's
dude.
that's
this
the
was
thing.
this was somebody I used to work with at the job before I went full time tattooing. Like she's not an
shit.
artist. She's not. You know what I mean? It's just like
She had dated
now.
up for a quote.
She mean a bit.
And that's that whole coming back to where it's so easy to get the equipment and people think that they can just jump on it without doing an apprenticeship, and they're going to learn the hard way and give up, or they're going to keep hurting people and screwing up. But also, in my opinion, as an artist, you have a little bit of an obligation to be like, hey man, you should at least try to turn them away from that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I know it sucks, and like you don't, but it just comes down to lack of knowledge of what to say to them. It doesn't mean you're stupid or slow or anything. I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm just saying sometimes you got to take that time and be like, hey man, like why don't you, are you doing an apprenticeship? Like you really shouldn't take on something like that, because that's an advanced for even for someone that's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Doing those designs that you mentioned, those aren't easy to do, you know. I would try to explain it to people. I always try to explain things to people now. And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not, you shouldn't have to." Well, yeah, we should, dude. We're supposed to educate our customers. We need to educate them so they can make more informed decisions about their tattoos in the future. And it works. And I like when my customers are like, "Well, oh wow, you gave me more to think about." You want to, and you might not even get to do the tattoo that day, but at least you're giving them something to think about so they can make an informed decision. And usually, I'd say about 80 to 90% of the time, they will come back because they're glad that you actually took the time to educate them for a minute.
Yeah.
They really do. They'll notice that, and they'll come back to you when they decide they're ready. Because that's how it works. People get tattooed when they're ready. And sometimes right on the spot, they're wanting to get that tattoo. And if it's something you can't do, you need to educate them on why you need the time to design it.
Yeah.
Because when I was taught how to tattoo, we would tell them, hey, go grab something to eat. I'll have your drawing done by the time you get back, and that means I have to bust out a drawing really fast.
Yeah.
And that's cool. It helps you, but at the same time, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to leave out a little bit of knowledge that you could have put in there that you've been gaining. And especially for younger artists, when it's super new to y'all and you're still, you know, everything's exciting, but also you're not thinking straight. Sometimes you're just excited. Sometimes it takes, you know, you to gain a little bit of years and knowledge to slow down a little bit. But it does. It is cool to be able to draw a design up fast enough. But I like to take the time to add the knowledge that I've gained over the years into my design. So now you have come to asking people for deposits. I think that's a major thing. I watched a thing earlier today with some tattoo artists where a guy wanted this dude to draw it up, and he quoted him and went to somebody else and was like, hey, I want to get this design. What would you charge? I have this other guy drawing it up. And he quoted him a way cheaper price because he didn't have to do the drawing. Then he went in to go, and he didn't even tell the artist he was going to go to another guy till he got there and was planning on, and he was like wanting his deposit back.
Fuck no, baby.
Mm-mm.
And the dude's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to another guy and get the tattoo I'm drawing for you? He's like, no, man, I keep that money you pay for the drawing.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it from me, then you're paying for the drawing. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those tournament Burnham shops where it's like even if the owner is a tattooer, he's kind of a tad
like
bit
a
out of
spin
touch.
mill, or like what?
Yeah, like, hey, like if they show up and they want a half sleeve, like you have to do it.
Oh yeah, you let the client walk. You
Yeah,
know, that's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah,
strike
you kinda,
against
Like the
like,
place
give
I
them-
work at.
Yeah, you kind
yeah.
of give them the reins to like
I
the
think
whole
you
tattoo
shouldn't be
process.
working there to
Yeah.
begin with, to be honest, because
Yeah.
how is that fair that the owner's wanting to make money off of you? That's
Yep.
all it comes down to. And my bottom line is like, I want you to do all this, and if you don't, then I'm not making money off you. Then I don't want you here. Type of attitude. That's
Yeah.
not cool with me. This
Yeah.
is an industry. We're artists. Artists sometimes need the time to design their design up. If you paint, how the fuck you paintings don't take? They take 6 hours. Some tattoos take 6 hours. You're not. I think you need to put the time into the design because that's what they're paying you to do.
Yeah.
Now, if they come in, they pick something off the wall, fuck yeah, let's do it. Some nice traditional stuff. I love that. I love when people pick a nice traditional piece drawn from a nice traditional artist that does it well. And I just have to copy it. I love that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Do a
too.
good piece,
Yeah.
you know, do a good job on it. But if you want to do your thing, you want to show your skills and push the envelope with your style, then you need to take the time to make it right.
Yeah.
You study for a test. You know what I'm saying? Every tattoo should be a test.
Yeah.
Like
So-
Guy Aitchison even said, like he does color studies or just does studies for all of his tattoos before he does them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I did do that, I noticed a lot of my tattoos improved. Do I still do that? No. Should I?
No, you
Definitely.
should.
Fuck yes.
I mean,
Well,
Because it helps
I've told,
so
I've
much.
told
Tell 'em the game
David
plan.
and Justin
Oh, yeah.
and Kylie all the time. If you're not sure about it, draw it up and make a color study or paint it,
Mm-hmm.
or get some Prisma pencils, color it in like you think you want it to look first. Don't do that. You should always know what you're doing when you do the tattoo. When you do a flash piece, you know what the fuck you're doing. You're not a good enough artist to just make up the shit yourself. If you are, you are. You know, but if you're not, you're not. Don't
Yeah.
do that shit.
And you'll find out very quickly
Very
if
quickly.
you're not
you
good enough.
You know when you make those mistakes. We all know we're the ones doing it. That's what baffles me when I see people do these crazy, not tattoos, and it's like they know that doesn't look like the picture. I don't, and they're saying it, and then people believe it. That's what's crazy because art is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It is. Some people will say it's the best thing they've ever seen. When people that have more knowledge will say no, it's not. And that's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. But what tattoos are, is clean outlining, solid, smooth color, or solid, smooth shading. That's what they're paying you to do. So if you can't do that, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't matter what the imagery is, really, unless it's something you can't do or stuff that's not literally tattooable. But if it is tattooable, that's what we're paid to do, is solid, clean lines, solid, smooth shading. That's it. It doesn't matter what the image is. We should be able to do that. That's what they're paying us to do.
So I kind of think, like, in regards to, like, okay, you shouldn't be working there at like a fucking skin mill. It's unfortunate because, like, with the oversaturation of the industry, like, you know, it's like we I guess it seems like we become more and more replaceable every day because of the fact that there's so many people doing fucking tattoos. And I kind of think, like, as the, like, general, like vernacular of what, like, modern tattooing is, like, as contemporary tattooing grows, the things that people walk through the door asking for grows all the time. You know, whether it's, like, little, like, crazy fine line fucking tattoos that are, like, super impractical or whatever it may be. Like, just the other day, this chick that's, like, fresh out of her apprenticeship that I work with, she came and showed me this, like, band that this dude was asking her for, and it was, like, you know, the tsunami wave woodblock print?
Yeah.
It was basically that, but it was, like, in a band that was, like, 2 inches tall, and it had all this, like, super fine, like, negative
and
space.
it can be done with a one-liner and
Yeah.
fucking tons of hours.
Yeah.
But it's not what we're taught to do. You know, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be. I would try to talk them into doing it larger.
Right.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
a tattoo, and you know, in like a year or maybe 5, it's gonna look not like that anymore.
Right. Right.
And they paid you for it. Or if you just want, because here's another thing that I've always frowned about a little bit is like, you're going to take a photo of your tattoo. That photo's never going to change, but it's going to age on that customer.
Yeah.
And it's going to look like shit. And those artists know that.
Right.
And they don't care. They just
Yeah.
want the money. It's for the momentary thing or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm not that type of artist. I try to just do a tattoo that's going to look good as long as I can, forever, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do. I just try to follow those rules. So I'm just not like those other guys. I'm not also getting rich like those guys are either.
Yeah.
I'm not making thousands of dollars off of one tattoo because I'm not willing to do something that's going to look like shit.
Yeah.
Now, I agree. There are artists out there. You can do some of that stuff, and on a huge scale, it has to be like half their body. And then even then, it's probably not going to do that because it always moves. Ink always moves in your skin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I just like the old school way, like nice lines, just line work, the foundation. It's the foundation holds it together.
Yeah.
Do you think like a lot of modern tattooing with what people are doing now is kind of affecting like long term?
Yeah, but it
Is it
doesn't
like a
even matter
serious
in the
long-term
long run.
effect?
Because if, like, and I'm not like a conspiracy theory, but I'm going to throw it out there.
Hell yeah.
If the world doesn't end soon, if the world doesn't end soon, they're going to be tattooing with lasers soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
something
no,
else. So
no,
our jobs
absolutely,
are
yeah.
obsolete. It doesn't
already
really
are.
matter.
Yeah, it's
And
already
even-
happening.
Well,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
then, like,
so it doesn't matter. You might
that
as well
being
just
said,
ride the high and try to keep doing
still
what
be
you
the people
know
who
is
want it.
right. Huh?
Yeah.
there'll still be people who want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's gonna be people like who
Underground,
just
but
want
it's
that
going to
shit
come
quick.
down to the very top artists
Yeah,
in
it'll-
the world
yeah.
that'll be left
We got time.
standing.
We
Like,
got
none of
time.
us in this room will be.
Well, I mean, even
Tattooing
then, like,
still.
especially with
Oh,
those
yeah, I'm not
newer
worried about that.
guys, like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, somebody on Instagram did that. I'm like, but it's a photo, you know? Like, nobody...
Yeah.
There's a reason why they, like, don't post healed stuff or anything
Yeah.
a year or two down the line. Like that, who's that chick that was in the Suicide Squad movies? Like, she played the witch.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, yeah.
No, Cara Delevingne.
Cara, yeah, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck her tits is.
Yeah.
She got like a realistic line on her finger. And
Oh,
at the
fantastic.
time when she got it, I was visiting my family in California, and like there were giant posters of her doing that, showing her tattoo off. And that one fucker, Bang Bang,
Yeah.
just made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Just doing that tattoo. But I'm like, man, he doesn't. Since it's a celebrity, he's not going to be like, hey, just so you know.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to look like hot dog water
Yeah.
within a couple of months, you know?
Yeah.
And then everybody got that tattoo, and then everybody was disappointed.
And he was
within the
booked with
same
every
time
other
frame.
NBA player
Yeah,
and
but
fucking
now
everybody
he's
else.
but now he's like the tattooer to the stars. Like Jay-Z's like ha ha ha.
Yeah, like
had him do
Mr.
a diamond on me.
Cartoon,
I'm like,
you know?
cool. It looks dope for that week, but
I mean that's just
Well, they
sometimes
do
that's
now.
just luck though. You know, like sometimes you you know people are in the right time in the right place. You get to tattoo somebody important like that. Like I tattooed a couple of TCU basketball players, and then a whole bunch of them started coming in, the coach and everything. You know,
Yeah.
it just happens that way. You know, but I've never got to tattoo a Dallas Cowboy because I'm also not in Dallas. You know,
Yeah.
but you just get lucky.
But
you
there's
know,
that tattooer
working
that-
in the stockyards, you might fucking hit somebody there,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
Kid Rock.
also, you got to put up with the stockyards. You know, I've never met an artist that said they love working in the stockyards.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like tattooing in the stockyards. Like if you're like the walk-in warrior type of dude, like it's like that. The stockyards is pretty tight.
But that's when you
Well,
have
maybe
that,
it's
like,
just the shops that were offered
yeah,
there.
but
in
that's
the
when you have
stockyard.
like the owner has that tournament Burnham, like working at Pink Cobra, like
yeah.
dude, a main street where all the bars are at, like drunk people are pouring in.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
dude just spent like thousands of dollars turning the shop out, trying to convince people to open it, and he's just like,
Yeah.
I got to make my money back.
Yeah,
I'm like, this
yeah.
this dude who just turned 21's blackout drunk, and he wants, you know, like
It's concrete look.
XYZ
Yeah.
tattoo, and
Yeah, yeah.
you know, you have the owner there at the grand opening. He's like, "Motherfucker, you better do that tattoo,
Yeah,
or else
yeah.
you're not gonna make money." You know?
Do you
Yeah,
remember-
man, well, just like everything, there's not every tattoo artist is a good dude or a cool
Yeah.
person. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And some people get a little taste of that money or high life, and they take advantage of it, and that's what also makes our industry look bad. You know?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the
Well, I mean-
long run. And it
I mean, that's
also
the-
makes it harder for younger artists to come up correctly. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the main reason why I got fired, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I was
spent-
told that is just like, you spoke out, you like didn't do what I said to. I'm like, well, then you're a bitch to me, bro. Like, I don't know.
A
Yeah, what do I
bad
say?
pseudo leader will turn around for his own gain and pump out 3 people who might have started off decent, but they're gonna adopt his attitude.
Well, I agree. I worked
I'll
for
go get more.
Thank you, thank
an
you.
artist. I apprenticed under a guy, and he was a really good artist, but I adopted some of his negative qualities apprenticing under him for a year and a half. That just happens. And artists are a lot different than most type of people. We're a little more sensitive. You might not think you are. You think you're a tough guy, but you're not. You're an artist. You're fucking a little hard on your sleeve type of dude most of the time.
A little more impressionable.
Yeah, and you're gonna look up to people. Like I've looked up to a lot of artists, and then come to find out they weren't as cool of a person as I thought. But that doesn't mean their art's still not good. I'll always say they do good art,
Oh, yeah.
but it doesn't mean I'll say they're a good person. And that just happens. We just,
That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
That's a real hard pill to swallow.
but it happens, dude. It's just like everything else. We just don't have to overthink it. You just need to do the best you can, because that's what people are paying you for. If you're gonna take their money, you need to be doing the best you can every time.
Yeah.
And I know we all get it. It's a job. If you get monotonous, sometimes you don't want to do the same fucking Roman numerals over and over again. But you just have to change your attitude on it, change your outlook. Like, all right, today I'm going to do these Roman numerals because I got to make the money. I need to make a little bit of money to pay this bill. I'm just doing it for the money. It's just Roman numerals. You can't
Would-
get away from it. You know?
Would you say that like CD Hustle is a good benefactor to tattooing?
CD hustle?
Like you said, like you got to do these Roman numerals. You have to make
Just
them
fucking
look
do it.
really
Well, I
good.
mean, back in the day when there was fewer shops, we could turn that stuff away, and we can explain it to them like, "Hey, man, this isn't gonna make a good tattoo." Now I just explain it to them and do it because they don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
explain
don't.
like,
Yeah.
"Hey, this
even
isn't
then,
gonna
like you
look."
said earlier, is like people will come back. It's like no one has ever been honest with me. Like,
Yeah.
I trust you.
I've
Yeah.
had that too. Be
I
like,
trust
oh,
you.
these
But
guys
I
are
also
perfect.
learned too by doing it, like by saying this one phrase sometimes works every time like a charm. Like, I won't guarantee it, and then they're like, "Oh, well, why not?" Well,
Oh.
because we're doing it too small.
Oh.
This type of design's going to blur together. This is why the ink moves. I explain, give them the whole spiel, and then they'll be like, "Oh, cool. Nobody's ever explained that," or they'll be like, "I don't care. I want it."
Yeah,
then-
that.
But hey, most of the time when it's those people, they are elderly, and they're
Yeah.
not going to live forever. They're not going to live long enough for that tattoo to turn bad. I do that for them.
Yeah.
They get what they want. They
Yeah.
earned it.
Yeah.
But when they're younger, I just flat out tell them no, man, or I just do a better
Oh, yeah.
design, or I tell them it just needs to be bigger.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And
it's
but
better
if
to be
you
honest.
if you do it, and they always come back saying, "I wish I wanted it bigger," or "I should have got it bigger."
Yeah, imagine
Yeah,
that.
so might as well just try to argue with them in the beginning and get it
Yeah.
figured out.
Well, I mean, honesty is the best policy. Like with most clients, no matter what shop I worked at, you're gonna run into that. I tell them like, I just like to sleep at night. You know, like
Yeah.
like some dudes are totally okay with just being like, yeah, fuck it, and just take your money. I'm like, I want to go to bed knowing that you're gonna come back in maybe less than a year or
Or that you won't firebomb my house when I'm
Yeah,
sleeping.
yeah, you
That's
won't
how I
hate me
feel.
so much
Yeah.
because like what I told you.
Yeah, but they
happened.
don't do that.
Oh no, they won't.
It's
No,
a,
and
it's
that's
a
what
case by
bothered.
case.
That also used to piss me off a lot because I remember one day, this guy came in. I'm not gonna name drop people, but this guy came in.
You can name drop people. Nobody's watching.
Oh yeah, go
this.
for it. Yeah.
There's like 3,000 people. Like,
Fuck you, mom.
Jason Statham, security.
Yeah, fuck you.
My bad. I'm sorry to interrupt.
His mom and my mom.
I'm done. Fuck you.
I,
You're in
I wanna
this whole
hear-
thing. You're
yeah.
dropping wisdom, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. I know. This is going
We're
a lot
here for
better
it.
than I
This
thought it would.
dude
You're connecting
came
dots
in
for us.
one day, and I was working at the pirate ship. I hadn't been working there very long, and this customer came in. He was super irate. He had every right to be. He wanted a clown tattoo,
Yeah.
and he got a turd with white frosting and a fucking cherry on top. That's exactly what it looked like, honestly. It was brown. I don't know why he shaded it brown. He was trying to do skin tone.
Wait, you're
It
not
was
gonna
like dark ass brown.
Is it the
you're
guy
not
that
gonna
I
say
work
who
with?
did it? Who did it?
Extendo.
Who did it, dude?
This Stendo Scorpion?
Who did the turd, dude?
He'll bleep out the name.
This dude raised so much shit
Strata
at our
Square?
shop. He didn't even work there anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, never mind.
I can't remember if they fired him or he quit or whatever. I think he got fired, but he didn't work there no more. And I told this dude, I was like, hey, man, that artist works right up the road. Go talk to him about it. He did your tattoo. He's responsible for it. We're not.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do it. And if you want to threaten people and all this other shit, that's the guy you threaten,
Yeah.
not us.
Yeah.
So, that's how I feel about it. Like, you
Yeah.
should go to that person
Yeah.
and do that.
Well,
But people don't. They don't. If somebody really did a shitty job on you, you should go and at least get half your money back.
Yeah.
If not all of it.
Yeah.
I think, but people don't do that. And maybe that artist might even deserve an ass whooping. I don't even know.
Maybe, yeah, perhaps.
And
I would actually.
That's
And
I,
right.
we've
I would say
all-
9 times out of 10, yes.
And like, dude,
Yep.
I do pretty decent tattoos, but I've done not so decent ones in my career too. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not happy with them. I would love to see them again so I can fix them.
Yeah, that feels good. That
I
feels
would
great.
love to.
Oh,
No
man.
problem. No problem. I wouldn't even charge them. But hopefully I'll get to.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I would take an ass whooping if it came down to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I'll defend myself, but
Yeah.
I understand why that dude's mad at me. I'm not going to be mad at him for it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wish people would call. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know.
Well, I wish people would
something.
call out the turds.
Yeah.
I wish people would call out my turds too, because like you said, anybody like I know when I fuck up because I fuck up constantly, and I take it to them too, and I know exactly what they're gonna say, and then sometimes they'll get in your head. They probably
Yeah, but
won't
you
notice.
fuck up constantly, but you have no problem saying $500.
What, me?
Yeah, if you're just saying now, you constantly are fucking. If you're gonna fucking say,
What's the last $500
You a fuck
tattoo I
up.
charged?
I'm just saying, I'm just using 500 as a number. Don't try to nitpick it.
That's
Like,
a big number.
no, I'm just saying you're charging more than what you're worth if you're fucking up on their tattoos and you know it, and you fuck up all the time. You're saying that right now. All I'm doing is saying, then don't charge them that much money.
No, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, this could. I did it a couple weeks ago. and
I do
used
it
to
all
get-
the time.
Oh, I mean,
I used
like,
to get told don't admit to it.
Well, I mean, even then, like,
If I
dude,
feel like I didn't do the best I could, I'll just be like, I might have been thinking, man, this is a $300 job. I'll be like, fuck, man, 150. I didn't pull all the
done that.
stops out on it.
oh,
Yeah.
dude.
People
You know what
actually
I'm
be
saying?
happy
Like,
with
I
that.
know I
Yeah.
could have done it better because I have that knowledge.
Oh yeah, dude,
Actually,
I get in trouble constantly.
Now I get it. If you
for
don't
that.
have the knowledge, that's fine. Stay in your lane. That's all you got to do. Stay where you're good at. There's nothing wrong with doing 1-point tattoos or 3-point small tattoo, whatever, in your area. Don't do things that are beyond you. If you can't make a small tattoo perfect, how are you going to make a half sleeve perfect? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So just stay in that lane. It doesn't matter because until you make those perfect, then you'll be ready to move up to the next level, you know, the next bigger step for you. Because as artists, you always get overwhelmed when you start looking at this whole sleeve. You got overwhelmed if you're not ready for it. You're like, oh wow, it's so much work, and it is. And you're getting overwhelmed, you're already psyching yourself out.
Oh yeah.
So just stay in your lane. Just do what you're comfortable doing and make it perfect first. Like I watch good tattoos all the time. I see them, and some of them are like, a lot of guys will do these small ones all the time, but they're all perfect, dude, and they look sick as fuck. They're not doing big ones. They're doing these perfect little ones, like this big, you know? It's like perfect. And they're going to look like that for a long fucking time. That's the cool part.
Oh, dude, I feel that. Dude,
That's the dream.
Bro, dude, I'm gonna defend him kind of. I get grilled constantly because I work at a shop where it's like me and the owner make money. Like the owner makes the most money because he does good tattoos. He's always booked out. But I'll do something that is like kind of out of my wheelhouse, and he's like, "Nah, man, it's chill. Like, charge him $1,200." I'm like, I know it's not, because I see all the imperfections.
Yeah.
And just because, you know,
It's,
like that person doesn't tattoo doesn't mean they can't like go home and be like, oh man, like
look how much I paid for
this is fucked up, that's fucked up. Like I see it. That's why I'm like doing 8 hours of tattooing for like $400, and I'm only taking $200 from that because I'm like,
Yeah.
People do like the honesty. I was
What-
doing the turn and burn.
Well, dude,
yeah. Well, I mean, like that.
you gotta
alien
have
I
a
did today.
conscience, dude. You gotta have
I mean,
a
you have to.
conscience, man.
Like that alien I did today. It's on a dude who's like fresh out of jail, like getting swastikas with a fucking safety pin, you know. And I'm like, hey, let me do this for shop minimum $100. Only get $50 of it. Let me. And it's awful to say out loud, but like, let me practice on you. You know, like I'm humble enough to be like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to know how to do this.
That way you
Yeah.
feel
I
like
could draw
Yeah.
it, but like I want to learn how to tattoo it. I'm like, I'm meeting you in the middle, you know. And most of the time, they're fucking cool with that.
Yeah, it's good to have some crash
Like
test
my
dummies.
boss gets fucking pissed. He's like, dude, my like rent's going up. I can't make enough money to pay for it. So just because you're here, I'm gonna put it on you. I'm like, dude,
That's your boss's problem, just like it's my
no,
problem. here.
yeah. I'm just like, I'm still trying to learn how to do this, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you gave me the platform to do it, or the chance to do it, rather.
Yeah, like if I lost everybody here, I would have to make a bedroom here and move in this motherfucker
Yeah.
and keep tattooing to keep the bills paid. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
my problem. That's not y'all's problem.
I mean, it's a hard thing. It's a hard
But
thing.
as
to-
a mentor, that's a bad mentor sometimes. Like you shouldn't put that on the other artists or the guys you're trying to teach or help become better. That's not
Well,
their
he's also-
responsibility. They have enough to worry about with their own with tattooing, and it is hard. Art's not easy, but we don't make it easier on ourselves when we can. Like we're doing this podcast, but we should be painting or drawing. You know what
You're
I'm
right.
saying?
You're right.
So we're doing it to ourselves. Like I'm guilty. I'm not afraid to say it. I like to play video games, so I'll go home and play video games instead of drawing and painting. I could probably be even better than I am now if I just focused more time on tattooing as well. I get that. But I don't sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah.
We all need to separate ourselves every once in a while, and that's just an excuse. But if for a younger guy, like when I was coming up, and like I was saying earlier today, we worked 13 hours a day. I didn't like it, but once I asked my boss like why, and he explained it to me so that I could be a better artist and not be out fucking around like I would have been doing if I wasn't there. I probably would have been fucking around drinking or partying or hanging out, riding my motorcycle or something that wasn't drawing or tattoo related. When at that time when I was younger, I needed to be only focusing on that because I wanted to make a career out of it. You know, and luckily I had an artist that, you know, a mentor that wanted to teach me, you know, the history behind it and the different styles. I didn't even know any of that, you know, like, and that's what really made it more exciting for me was learning all that, you know. I wish my mentor would have been a better human being so we could have kept on going from there,
Hang
but
on.
it
On
didn't
that
work
note,
out.
are you talking about Roxy?
Yeah. His name's Brian.
Well, I
Burns.
mean, like that being said, like I've seen some of his stuff and it's fucking sick. Even it holds up to now.
Yeah.
But like, how do you feel about like
Well,
like
I've seen-
like Chance and I? It's only been about 5 years. Do you think it's a little bit harder for people? Like, if we came up around people who don't give a shit, like, do you think it's harder for?
Yeah, for sure. And I think for y'all,
They're
y'all
money
need to pick a
machines.
style and stick with it so that you can get out of that situation. Like, make the best of it instead of trying to jump around. Just focus on one style to make it perfect. Because I think to be a good tattoo artist, with using the word artist on the end of that,
Yeah.
you have to learn a little more than just traditional.
Yeah.
Just American traditional. You know what I'm saying? You really do. Or you're not going to be able to do everything that you're not going to be able to really make a lot of, because not a lot of people like American traditional, which sucks. It does, because it's time tested tattooing. It's one of the best styles. It lasts forever if done correctly. And if you don't do it correctly, it's right there in your fucking face to see it.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's not an easy style to do either, because you can, if you make a mistake, it's unforgiving. It's right there in your face, and it's very hard to adapt from that. You know, so I think you should try to learn. You know, focus on one style till it's perfect, and then move on to the next one, so you can start making more money.
I mean, it's good to be versatile, especially like.
For sure, and it's
If you're in a
fun too,
spot.
dude. Honestly,
Yeah.
to be able to be like, oh, I get to do something besides traditional today.
Especially
Yeah.
once you like you
Well, I
actually
mean-
nail it and start figuring it out. It's
Yeah.
that unlocking that new skill is like, holy shit, I can actually
Yeah,
fucking
well,
get this.
I mean, it's like a person in a trade, you know. Like you can only do as much as whatever's on your belt, you know.
Yeah.
Like Travis and I, we work
Like
at a shop,
everything.
and the owner was like, "We only do Sailor Jerry, Spider Murphy Flash. If you don't, fuck you." But like half the time, people were walking in, they're like,
Yeah.
"I want this single line, you know, wave on my wrist, or
Yeah.
I want this Eat Pray Love font, you know."
Yeah.
And I like it sucks to say it, but like, dude, I got bills to pay at the end of the day. Travis has bills to pay at the end of the day, you know.
That's
Not
why-
everybody that walks in is gonna walk in, look at the wall, and be like, I want that, you know. I wish that'd be fucking tight, because I'd be
Yeah.
like, I know how to do that.
Life could be a dream.
Yeah, life would be like, I know how to
Just
do
play the
that.
lottery that week.
Yeah, it'd be dope, you know.
If people
Like,
did that, that shop would have been a lot
yeah,
more fun.
but
to
well, I
work
mean,
at.
at that shop, like, I did pretty well, because, I mean, most of the dudes that were in there were like, besides you, Travis, you can
Nice.
do it as well.
Nice, go
But
off.
like most of the dudes were else like, I'm gonna go to the bar and get drunk and be a Sailor Jerry dude. I'm like, all right, well, I have responsibilities. I have to figure
be
out how
here.
to.
Yeah.
I have
That's
to
what
figure out how to do
separates
this
you
thing that.
from the other artists, though.
Yeah.
That's what separates us from all those other artists. Like, I get it. When I first was younger and we used to go out and party a lot, it was fun. You kind of live in that lifestyle, you know.
Yeah.
You make all this money in the day and you go out and spend it all, you know. And then I didn't have a lot of responsibilities back then, you know, so it was cool. Once my daughter, once I knew I was having a daughter, that changed a lot of things for me. But I think for y'all younger guys, if you should be going out and doing that kind of stuff, you should. It's good. We
Bring
do
cards.
live that, but it is changed a lot, man. And there's just, to me, there's just too many shops, man. There's too many options for our customers. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
then
Like
a lot, and then
overload,
the
yeah.
ones that aren't
Yeah.
educated don't even know how to make the good decisions. They just
Yeah.
go somewhere
Yep.
that's close by.
It's
You know?
turning into some kind of
And
like
then-
'Cause
and
they'll
then
look
you-
at reviews
and
and
we
stuff
get
like that.
calls,
Market.
yeah, you get calls about pricing all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. And dude, like, I will appreciate Roxy for this. Like, dude, sometimes people would come in, they didn't have a lot of money, and he would just bust out a badass tattoo for them for what money they had.
That's cool.
Dude,
You know what I'm
fuck
saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Yes,
and that's
thank
that's
you.
what it takes. And you know what that dude did? He would tell his friends, and then they would come in and get tattoos for full price. Or he would promote the shop like crazy because we hooked up that person that day. It's like it just comes down to doing a nice tattoo, man. It ain't if they ain't got, like, I've watched John do it a bunch. I've watched Justin do it, and I'm not trying to name drop them. But I've watched
gonna
them
let
literally fucking just literally tattoo people or go out there and talk to a customer, and they didn't want to pay the price that they thought for it, and then that customer left, and then they didn't do anything for the rest of the day. Dude,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
Do a tattoo. I'm not saying to make
Dude,
money, but to do a
yes.
tattoo, man. That's because
Yes.
you're not going to get better by not doing a tattoo.
Yeah.
And you're
Thank you.
and you're just and then so if you ain't got shit else to do and nobody else is walking in, push that tattoo a little bit further, man. Make it a little bit cooler. Spend a little more time on it, and and then that person and people are gonna see that, dude. Most of my business, or all of it, is word of mouth. They see my work all the time. Kylie always tells me, "Man, everybody stops me about my sleeve." Sorry, I'm not trying to do your voice.
Well, I mean, it's true. Like, you gotta.
But I hear that from my customers all the time. That's the most gratifying thing to me. It's not how much money they paid me. It's that, hey, I get compliments on your work all the fucking time. I love it.
Hell yeah.
That's the coolest fucking feeling
Fuck
to
yeah.
me. That is what I enjoy. That they're getting compliments on my work, and I'm like, damn, I did that shit. I didn't even know I could do that good of a tattoo. Sometimes I'm like, shit, I did that. And then what even cooler is when I do it correctly, because I love black and gray. When I do it correctly and I see it a year later, it even looks better than the day I did it because it
Yeah.
aged correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes me feel even better, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I really like about tattooing, and that's what I enjoy.
No, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's an awesome feeling. It gives you that,
Fuck yeah. Well,
butterflies in
it
your
gives you a
tummy
reason to
and
be
shit.
like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
could,
gives
like,
you-
I could sleep at
It's that
night. People are
motivator,
happy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
such a
dude.
good motivator.
No, man. I'm always fighting my boss because he's like, he only does half days and full days, like 600 for a half day, 1200 for a full day.
Yeah.
I mean, like, granted, like, he does good tattoos. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, fuck this dude, this and that. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
But that being said, he's tattooing like higher ups at Lockheed Martin. People
Yeah.
who own their own businesses are
Yeah.
like, I want a
Locksmith
gay ass
Martin.
clock on my arm and I want it to look good. He's gonna fucking do it. And it's gonna be the coolest gay clock you've ever seen in your whole
Hell
fucking
yeah.
life.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be clean as
You bet
fucking
your
shit.
nuts to look clean as fuck.
Yeah, but like he's running a business.
doing clocks.
Yeah, no one does, dude.
Not
Yeah,
tight,
everybody
yeah.
hates it.
Straight trying to turn 'em
But he's
down,
running
man.
a business,
Yeah.
and he's like Atlas holding it up, and like I come in. Well, Chance was there too, but he left. But
Many such
but like
cases.
I came in, he's like, "Hey man, you get to do all of the fucking dumb shit that doesn't make me Instagram famous or make people fucking roll their eyes out of their head, but like there's still like a sentiment of like I'll do a birth month flower like off of Pinterest, like they show me the photo.
Yeah.
I want this 5-minute tattoo.
Out of
I'm
all
like-
the gay fat tattoos, those are probably my favorite though.
Oh yeah.
I love doing
but,
flowers.
But I mean, at the end of the
fucking
day, like
love doing
me
flowers.
personally, like
All about that shit.
I love
You really
grime.
love doing everything, dude. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Oh,
every-
yeah.
You have to.
That's
like,
probably one of my favorites though.
Yeah, you
like if
have
somebody
to.
says, like, "Hey, I want to I want to do some flowers and shit." Like, fuck
Yeah.
yes.
Well, because me
Sign me the fuck
personally,
up.
like
Let's go.
James, he's like, I'm too good. I'm not gonna fucking do that. I just name dropped him. My bad.
But even then,
But-
just fake hype about shit.
Yeah, but then
So,
I'm just like, hey, I'm just trying to pay bills, and it's my job to do a good job. Like, I like grime stuff. I like Biomech. I like Aaron Kane. I love demon shit, like whatever. But this fucking soccer mom who just came in, she wants something fucking cool. It's my job to do a good job, because that one tattoo that me personally I won't enjoy doing, that's gonna turn into 5. That's gonna turn into 10, and they're gonna be happy.
Hell yeah.
Like they're gonna fucking like it.
Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna go run next door and grab some more beer before they
Hey,
close.
can you grab me a tall boy?
Yes.
Like a
do you
what?
have Do you have a tall boy in front of you that's not? Is it opened or is it?
Oh no, it's gone.
It's done. It's
It's
gone.
gone. It's gone.
You want
I
another?
drank it.
White claw tall boy.
No, you don't.
a white claw tall boy. God damn.
Are we pausing?
Hey, wait.
No, we're not pausing.
No.
Oh,
gotta
I
keep
really
the party
need to
going.
get some words out of my system.
I mean, I'll put some
Toasties. No, I don't know. It's hard going from like a boss who's like turn them and burn them, don't give a shit what they look like, make me money.
I hate
To-
that.
to
dude.
like,
it's,
hey,
it's
you know-
it's soul draining.
Yeah,
It's so soul draining.
But I mean, like, I don't respect those dudes, and I don't work for them. That's why I left Pink Cobra. Hash fired. But like,
Yeah.
he was like, "Why won't you do shitty 30 tattoos in a day, so I can pay for my Corvette?" I'm like,
It compromises my tattoo
"Because I
quality.
hate myself, dude, and these people aren't happy.
I
And
was
they
there
don't know
for
any
less than a
better."
month, and I got the deal. It's like, you do what I fucking tell you to do, whether you like it or not. I'm like,
I told you
no.
ahead of time. I was
You
like,
did.
"Don't."
You warned me. He was like, this is what it's going to be like. He's being really cool
Yeah,
with
dude.
you because you think you're going to have the lifestyle like him. Then you find out really quick, guys who run their shops like that don't give a fuck
Well, I mean,
about
like
you.
that's when you.
Well, I didn't
Uh-huh.
even want to do apprenticing anymore but until I met David and Justin, they changed my attitudes on it. So
Can I?
because
Can
a lot
I
of
flex
people
on
don't
David
take it
real quick? Can I flex on David?
seriously, and you know, and
Yes, you can, brother.
and then I did it. I wanted to do an experiment instead of just doing one apprentice at a time.
Well,
I
you
wanted to.
did really fucking good.
But I wanted David and Justin together because it
Looks
helped
like
out
they
that they were
could.
friends and that worked together. And I never wanted to open up a shop, but I opened this shop up for David and Justin and Kylie because I wanted us to have a bigger and nicer place than where we were for them, so that we all could grow and like we hated that other spot. It was just too small, and now we have a nice place. It's more inviting, you know. That other place wasn't meant. It was just meant for me. It wasn't meant for.
Well, you did
Having
a good
apprentices.
job on this guy. Because,
Yeah.
dude, I almost got into a fist fight with my old boss over this guy.
Which one? Austin.
Austin, yeah.
Who's
Austin,
Pink Cobra.
that?
he was willing to give him like 80-20 and be like, I want this guy.
What?
Like, he's a good tattooer. And me, who is just like at 50-50, I'm like, I'll fist fight you even though I'll lose. I'm like, I'm not going to bring your friend in so you can use and abuse him.
Well,
Just so you
David
can have
figured that
capital
shit
gain.
out on his own, though. Like when
No,
David
I
told
wouldn't
me
allow
about
it.
it.
No, dude. I was, we'd be at the bar, and he's like, I'm gonna fire you. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I know people.
I interviewed
Don't
him.
bring my friend in to this fucking cacophony of
Didn't you
bullshit.
stock like half the employees at the shop? for
Fuck
him?
yeah, dude.
And
I brought
everybody
five
was
people.
like, "This
I
is
brought like 4 or
bullshit."
5 people in because he's like, I'm about to lose money. I'm like, I know friends.
I have friends. I know guys.
I told all my dudes, I was like, don't do it. Except Travis. I was like, we're making dumb money. People don't care. Come on in.
I lasted less than a month.
You can tattoo a wiener on
And I
somebody.
actually
But
took a-
David, well, it's because you got tattooed by him, which is your fault. I don't know why the fuck you did that.
I
You
still
could
gotta get it.
you could have had a back piece by Guy Atchison, but you got a chalice or
Could have had a
whatever the
back
fuck.
piece by me at the least.
I will say that he is a good tattoo.
Hey, somebody's got to split this with me. Somebody's got to. Calvin, Chance, I nominate you.
I mean, I guess he's a good tattooer, but he just did not do a good job on David's back. I'll say that out loud.
Well, he did my arm too, and honestly,
Well,
for
let's
the
look
most
at it.
part,
Hey, wait.
Let's take a look at it.
My
and
arm or
everybody can get
David's
their
back?
own fucking opinions.
Thank you. I've been saying what you just said, and no one believes me.
Okay, so David wanted a chick on a
Wow,
horse.
it's crazy. It's gay.
And the chick on the horse should have been the main focal point of the design, in my opinion. So it should have been done bigger. And then I'm not a fan of the tribal. That should piss me off.
pisses me off. I just wanted to be like, if your dick's
I
not
like it.
this
It's
big,
got like a little bit of everything, you know?
Yeah,
No, that was just laziness.
Very, very eclectic.
I will say I'm biased because I hate that dude, but he's not a good man.
No, I just think he half-assed David's all. That's
Travis
all
is
I'm
gonna have to cut out a lot of this, but
So
he's a good
Ste- so
hero
Steven-
human being.
So Steven, everybody knows Steven,
Yeah.
maybe Tyson,
Yeah.
saying.
but he got a whole stomach piece from Austin, and it looked like shit.
Dude, Steven's chest though was fucking sick. It was like this weird.
Yeah, it wasn't
fucking,
done
like-
by Austin.
was
That's why it
Nicky
looked
and
shit.
Oh, that's when I found out about Steven's chest piece though. It was like this weird 3-headed, like super heavy black fucking chest piece. It was fucking sick.
It was one of the.
Hang on. Let's talk about tattoos we do like instead of tattoos we don't like. How about
Yeah.
that?
I'll tell you.
don't
No,
wanna
I
get
prefer
into
to hate on
negative
things.
vibes.
If you guys don't mind, I'd like to. Really talk
Grime, Biomech, sucks, Bioorganic.
Sean, what happened to you doing shit that had lines in it? That's what I want to know.
I got bad at it, so I stopped doing it.
Nah,
you know,
dude.
I played to my strengths.
Unacceptable, dude. Unacceptable.
I was
No.
hoping he'd bring in his cardboard box, huge cardboard box that's got so many sketches. It's stuffed in. There must be.
Dude,
couple
every
thousand
day I have to
sketches in
face
there.
like with Josh and stuff. Josh and Randy, they brought me up. They're my actual mentors. They're like, where are the dragons and Namakubi heads? I'm just, you betrayed me.
What they don't like.
I'm gonna do biomech.
They don't
It's
like.
such a
Well,
hard
I mean,
sell.
spiders and
well,
sharks and
like,
skulls.
Like you have 2 dudes filling your head with like tattooer code, and then they backtrack on it at the drop of a hat. It's like, what the fuck did I give us so much time and effort towards?
Bro, I
If
remember.
you're not gonna follow your own stuff,
Dude, I remember the first time that like I came and brought you that shirt when you had just started working at Pink Cobra, and you fucking like your wanted to book. Like we like right then and there.
I still have it.
I was like, I'm gonna come back tomorrow and I'm gonna get tattooed. And like I flipped through your wanted to book, and there's just like all these like fucking sick ass skulls and spiders and sharks and fucking
And laser
dragons
beams and
like
biomech
yeah,
and
like
they're
just
all
sick
Back,
fucking
something like
shit.
that. That's crazy.
Like, come on, breathe air.
Dude, because it wasn't making me money. I'm sorry. Like, I hate to be that dude. Like, I still love all that stuff, but like, I got a girlfriend who won't work. I gotta get. Got 3 dogs I gotta feed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, dude, fucking life hit me, man.
Well, it sucks when
Also,
all
yeah.
the stuff that you do that you think is cool and your coworkers think is cool, you wind up only doing it for free.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Dude, like, that's.
Well, dude, sometimes that's the step you have to take. You need to find a buddy, let them do a whole fucking sleeve of the stuff you like. Take do a badass job so you can take a photo of it, and that's what you show people. Have the stuff you want to do in your portfolio. Man.
Yeah.
He's
Like-
done that.
Like,
He's
well, I mean,
definitely
like
done
half
that.
my Instagram is tattoos I did for free.
Yeah, he's
Like, and any
definitely done
cool
that.
stuff, I'm just like, but
Yeah,
like,
that's the stuff you should be.
like
posting.
fucking Alex.
Yeah.
the stuff
That,
you like.
that dude who I hate now, like any black and gray or realism, I'm like,
Fucking-
okay, I did a good job on that. I'm gonna post that.
Yeah,
Did it for free, dude.
yeah.
But like, I was working at Pink Cobra so much, I was just like, all right, I could pay my bills, but then I also have time to where I could do whatever I want and nobody's gonna fucking notice. You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't stealing from the shop. I wasn't being a piece of shit. I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to try out.
You have the opportunity to be open
Yeah,
about
like-
it.
yeah,
Be
like-
like, hey, I'm not going to make the shop any money on this, but I really need to fucking be doing
Yeah.
this because XYZ. I want to learn. I want to at least try to do this.
Well, like that alien
Tyson
tattoo I
lets us
showed
do
you.
that.
Well, I mean, the alien
nice.
tattoo I showed you, I charged him $100 shop minimum. I was like, I want to
Somebody
try
else
something
would have
new.
charged
Like,
like $800.
let me do it. Yeah.
Done a worse job and then ran to the bank. Yeah. I think most people now have that attitude.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I hate to be like, oh, it's money, this and that, but I mean, it is at the end of the day. Like, I have to pay bills. Like, I have to do X, Y, and Z. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like half-ass it and do a bad job to where you hate it. You know, but
Or just tell people if they're getting into it now, like, you better accept that if you're ever going to be respected by any other decent tattooer, that if you think you're going to have some 4-bedroom house in the suburbs with a pool and a brand new fucking car and, you know, this, that, and the other, that's bullshit. You do not get that now without fucking
oh, I mean, yeah,
your
yeah.
clients.
Like, dude, I
Yeah.
love Biomech, but I'm not gonna do a whole fucking sleeve of it. I'm gonna draw it
Yeah.
5 times. I'm like, I could do that much.
It depends, too.
it,
There's
yeah.
this
Oh,
fine
dude.
line
And if
where
you're okay with it, I'm gonna do it.
I've had a couple clients that
What do you
I-
mean by that?
Me?
No, him. What do you mean by this? That's
Oh, like
all-
doing like a calf or
He
like
does-
But
fucking
that's
a leg.
not true biomech then.
It's not.
Yeah, because
it
it's
all
supposed to
comes
be the
out shit.
whole. It's supposed to represent the whole body part. So
No, it's true.
should do it where it's bigger.
Go big.
I wish.
Go big and then go big at home.
And you probably could do it bigger.
Calvin knows.
The biomech's really hard,
come
man.
over.
Dude, it's hard as fuck.
Need to
yeah.
come
one of the hardest
It's hard as
styles to
fuck.
do.
Well, how do you practice stuff like that? Do
On
you have no
paper.
business
I mean, you draw.
doing it when
On
Yeah, you
you're-
paper,
draw.
dude. Paper.
Yeah.
Like he said, Guy Atchison, dude. You know what he used to do? Heroin.
Make 3D
what
models
he
and
used
then
to
take
do?
photos. And he's just, I have everything covered.
Yeah, he used to fucking
Took a
make
photo of a
3D
tree.
models and shine, like you said, different color lamps. He'd have all these lamps set up with different colors shining at him. Then he'd photograph it, and then he would.
Oh,
I
man,
mean, that's
the
cool
biggest
that you
thing,
go
just
that
the
far to
studying
do
light,
that. Yeah,
light structures and shit.
that's
I
what it
love
takes,
that.
you know. Like,
So-
when did you do that? Like, I remember one time we went to Roxy's house when he was trying to fuck around with oil paintings, and he literally had the whole living room blanketed, like sheeted off with black sheets all the way down to this little fucking pinhole he was looking through, and that's how he was doing his painting, dude. Like, through this shit. It was crazy as fuck. That's what it takes, doing shit like that, you know.
I love that. What a crackhead.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
what's
that's a fucking oil painting technique though,
Yeah.
from like back in the day.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Get
dude,
your
it's
eyes focused on
crazy.
it better.
Yeah, well, you're painting the spots. You're painting it right there, making it all perfect, moving on to the next spot.
And
I
you
mean,
can kinda
sometimes
just
that's
shift
what
around
it
the
takes to
look.
do that drastic shit, you know. And look, we have all this time to
Yeah.
do it. We're artists. It's not like you were fucking. You don't got a 9 to 5. You don't even have to come into work if you don't want
It's
to.
like you said, video games. They're horrifically time consuming. For me
Yeah.
personally, I just jumped 50 hours in the last week and a half in Fallout 3.
Yeah, so as
I could've
long
been
as
easily
you
dumping that
remember
to
that,
3 paintings, if
you
not
know, as
more.
long as you remember that, that's why you're not good, is because you play video games or you're doing
100%.
this. That's all that matters. You know?
That's what puts things into perspective. Like
Exactly.
I'll look at games on my fucking Steam account and I'm like, damn, I racked up 2K hours on this fucking game. You know, what do they say, like 10,000 hours to master something? I could have mastered several fucking things
Dude.
based
Well, dude,
on
Not time I put
I'm
into
guilty.
Destiny.
I'm-
Not time I put into that shit.
I love
Everything.
Mountain Blade Bannerlord. I have
Hell
over
yeah.
1,000 hours in it. It says it right
Hell
there on my
yeah.
Steam account. It's like, I'm like, God damn, I don't even remember playing it that much, but apparently I have over 1,000 hours.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of distractions.
And Fallout, who knows?
Life
Skyrim,
sucks.
fucking crazy.
Fallout's fun.
But
What
I
can
am a
say?
big video game fan. I grew up in the early 80s and 90s when Game Boys and all that shit
Yeah.
were coming out. It was crazy. It was exciting, you know. I love that. Nintendo's. My mom used to play the Nintendo. Shit was fun.
So to put that like in a positive light, do you feel like
Well,
the time that you've invested in certain video games has informed your art in terms of like inspiration?
oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Okay.
I'm using the
First
core
of
Fallout
all,
3 to influence
and
my
then-
shit.
To
that
answer
fucked
that
up hand,
question
I'm looking at
correctly,
dead hands in
everything
Fallout.
everywhere to me is art. Like
Yeah.
everything I see, I look at it all like art. Like I love
Yeah.
it all, dude. Anime, the trees outside,
Yeah.
video game, anything that's got it's all art. We have to tattoo leaves or flowers all the time, organic shit. So it's all art to me now.
Oh, dude,
It's fun. It's better to look at life that way.
this segues so perfectly into something I wanted to ask you if you remember. Because you remember Casey, right?
Yeah, I tattoo him still. I just did a big beholder on his leg.
Do you remember one time I was making fun of him because we were like out back smoking. Yeah. I was like this was, I don't know, this was like a significant thing for me. Like we were outside smoking. I don't even think he's.
This is like back in the day.
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
back
yeah.
when you were skinny.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Shut
didn't
your fat
recognize
ass
you
up.
at first, dude. They were all
He
like,
told me.
I was like, what the fuck?
Get him back,
Okay.
Travis. Tell me
My
looks like
bad,
Stone Cold
Travis.
Skeleton. Tell him, dude.
I liked Travis back then. I remember him.
You're being mean to the nicest guy.
Like,
Shit, I was not in the best person back then either. I was still in my like cocky attitudes back then.
okay, so you
All the
probably
people there
don't.
sucked my dick off so bad. It made my head way too big.
It's that
They were
small
just
town-
blowing in it.
That small town tattooing,
Yeah.
dude. Okay, all right. So you probably don't remember this then.
I remember a lot of that stuff back then.
We-
Lost Highway.
We were smoking because I would always bring like a fat sack with me, and we'd smoke
that's probably
out.
Why I liked you so much.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's it.
Like
we
people that smoke weed.
we were back there smoking, and I remember it was cool back in like the back room of Lost
Dude,
Highway.
that was one of the best shops ever. That non-owners were tattoo. The owners were non-tattoo artists. It was one of the coolest shops I ever worked
Yeah.
at. We had a really good crew.
Yeah.
We had the big back area had two big huge bay doors. We had
Yeah.
Coke machines, a snack machine, pool tables,
Yeah.
foosball, TVs. We were airbrushing back there,
Yeah.
spray
Oh,
painting
shit.
everything, doing all shooting guns, fireworks. It was a badass shop.
Yeah.
The owners would bring us food all the time. It was
Yeah.
a cool shop. It was fun.
I vividly remember somebody doing a fucking oil painting, and it was like a beach, and I think like Jesus was crucified on the beach, and there was like I don't know, it was like it created one of those.
Cantu, maybe?
It seems like it was a Cantu painting for sure.
That's my kind of white.
But it was like an oil painting, and it had like eyes in the sky. I can't remember what all was going on with it. It created like some kind of an optical illusion. Like I don't even think it was actually like a depiction of Jesus crucified, but you could see, like, if you squinted your eyes at it, you could see Jesus on the cross. I don't know. It was fucking weird. It was cool as shit, and it was an oil painting, so I was like super impressed by it. But anyways, the thing that happened with Casey, like one day we were back there smoking, and like he was like taking note of the way the smoke like came off the doobie, and I was like, fucking nerd. Why do you talk about shit like that? Like, I don't know what the fuck. I kind of like was making fun of him. You're like, yo, don't fucking make fun of him for that. That's like a genuine like artistic observation. And I'm like, fuck.
Made you feel like shit.
Yeah, dude, instantly, bro. Like, I mean, here we are, like fucking 14 years later, probably, and I still remember that. I'm like, damn, he's right. That, like, Casey was onto something, like really making an observation there, and yeah, I don't know, it just like
I vaguely remember that, but I do think tattoo and smoke is like one of the coolest things if you
Yeah.
can pull it off. It's super hard to do.
yeah,
I've
dude.
seen artists do amazing jobs with it. Cantu, one of them.
Yeah.
Eric Cantu.
Yeah, yeah.
Wish I could name his shop he worked at, but I don't remember it.
Shige does that a lot in his stuff.
Yeah, and it's sick, but his is more Japanese style. I'm talking about actual like fucking
Realistic.
cigarette smoke just
Yeah.
trailing up,
I get that
Like with
Chicanos,
like a no air
or a
blowing,
candle
just a
smoke,
nice,
like
Yeah.
just like just
Like an
that
incense.
strain, and with the I don't know, it's really hard to do, and having the right blacks in the background, and
Yeah.
but yeah, it is. It's a cool observation to make, and I remember we had noticed that a lot because of the lighting back there would be
Yeah.
weird, so you could see the smoke from
Yeah.
the weed a lot, real nice, and
Yeah.
Casey, dude, honestly, that kid he made it. He was should have been a tattoo artist, but
Yeah.
he made the decision himself because he wasn't cool with tattooing people's bodies.
What?
And I thought, hey, but I commended him on that, dude. He didn't fucking try to do something that he didn't feel cool with and fuck up people and try to make money off the industry. He stepped back because he didn't feel comfortable for some reason. That's his own thing, you know.
Yeah.
I still respect that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dudes that should do that don't. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be tattooing.
Yeah.
But Casey did. He went through his apprenticeship. He did a good job. His work was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
His practice stuff was good. He did clean stuff. He just, when it came down to doing it on a customer or person, he just wasn't comfortable with it. He didn't, I don't know. I think he told me, but I can't remember why for sure. Like it was, I don't know. I don't want to say like it was like the blood or he just didn't want to hurt somebody. I don't remember. He just didn't want to hurt people or something, but.
He went into it really informed. I mean, I know he took AP art whenever, because I mean we went to high school together. He was in AP art, and I remember he was like an AP art 4 when we were seniors in high school. Because I got put in there for like 6 weeks, and they're like, actually, you need to go ahead and fucking do your algebra credits. So fuck you. But yeah, I mean, he was like really about art. But that is pretty profound that he had the respect to be like, you know, this is on people's body. This is something else.
I think he still does art. He just doesn't do tattooing because it wasn't
Yeah.
his thing, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know he hosts like D&D games.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hell,
Dude.
there's nothing
There's
wrong
like
with
two
that.
of them
Nothing
a
wrong with
year,
that.
or
Yeah,
two
dude.
of them a week or something.
Dude, D&D is a huge like outlet for creativity.
Hey, Trevor,
Oh man.
can I ask you something?
Huh?
You could be honest.
What?
You like my drawings at Pink Cobra or no?
Dude, I like him better at Pink Cobra. Like, your shit's okay. Your shit, dude, your shit's.
Wait,
should've been ready for
was
that,
it because
dog.
I had
You
an
should've been
outline
ready.
on it? Or
Yes, dude. Like, it just looked more like.
you
a,
could be honest. You're
yeah,
not gonna
I'm
hurt my
being honest
feelings.
with you right now. It just looked more like a tattoo back then.
Ah,
Like
okay,
now,
alright.
like now it's like fucking. Like these like drawings you sent us in the group chats, like that'd be a sick ass like mouse pad
Sean,
or some
I'll agree.
shit.
I'll
like,
agree with him to an extent.
Hey man, I'll take that. I'll take
Because
that.
I like this. I love this. It's like just like a nice bold outline on
Dude,
some of that
it's-
shit.
it's hard.
Would just be
It's
sick
hard.
as fuck and just make
There's
it
a
pop
good
out more.
medium. I'm just not hitting it.
bring
That's
back the
okay.
outlines.
That's what
dude.
I'm here for.
Dude,
That's-
it's hard.
yeah.
Well, because
That's
I mean,
what we're
like,
all here for.
Oh, yeah.
Test
Yeah.
this shit out on
Well,
us.
because I mean, like, I
I'm
think
sure gonna get
it's,
some of this shit blasted over eventually.
yeah, I think it's a lot of it, and this is just as a tattooer, it's like set and setting, like,
Yeah, yeah,
because like when the economy was doing good, and I was able to travel and get tattooed by these guys who knew what the fuck is up. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, this and that. And I'm not complaining like where I'm at now. Like I could pay rent.
Well, even that, it's just
But-
not
but-
even that. It's just the economy. Like it's
Yeah,
an election year. It's gonna be
but-
harder for us to go out and do a whole lot of shit like
And
that.
I think I could say it because like a lot of tattooers, well, I mean, maybe not all of them, but some of them, especially us, who are just like, oh, I need to make money. It's like, is it me? Do I have to rebrand? Do I got
no.
I mean,
no,
for me, a lot of it's
Stay
learning. I'm just
your
like, okay,
own
No,
true,
dude.
genuine self.
You know,
If change
okay.
and start being fake as fuck. I think your client's gonna see that shit.
oh yeah,
You're gonna see straight through that
absolutely,
shit.
yeah.
I think your specific set of problems is very much like averse to like what Tyson was saying about like just do a good tattoo. I think you have a lot more modern problems where it's like you have this very unique approach to tattooing. You have this like very, very informed, like highly cultured approach to tattooing, but it's lost on so many fucking people because people are like the people that we fucking put tattoos on are fucking stupid. Like a lot of the people that we tattoo are fucking stupid. They don't fucking know. They don't like they're not like really a part of tattoo culture. They have tattoos, but they're not like fucking like they're not into tattoos.
Yeah,
you know.
they don't like look at them the way we do. Like look at line work and look at how the shading's consistency. Like how Tyson was talking about consistent shading, consistent color work, like the smooth tapering and everything. They don't pay attention to that. They think, oh, it's colored this way.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
That's a
Whether
cool
it's full
lion.
holidays or not, they're like, oh, that looks nice.
They're like, oh, that lion's cool, but you know what would make it cooler if it had blue eyes.
Well, I
It's
think
always
a
the-
lot of it's like set and
Yeah,
setting.
I got
like,
something like that to work on later this
No,
week.
no, no, no.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, like working around James, like he is a good tattooer, but it's like you go to a shop and you almost have to. I don't want to use the word conform, but like he's like, hey, I do like mandalas and
You're
like
doing that.
fine
Ask me, I
line,
have
black
not
and
said
gray
anything, yep.
peonies. And if you want to make money while you're being cat,
No,
you have to reach that
no,
standard.
that is
so
just
like,
too much.
Hang on,
For almost
hang
a-
on, hang on. Pause. No side conversations. That shit's fucking annoying because I can hear you guys.
Hey, stop
and
being
I
gay.
you guys think you're having a conversation?
Edit that out.
It's like
Fucking it up. Take a step back.
I don't know if it's like life circumstances because I got to pay bills, my girls can't, so I got to pick up for that, so I got to do everything. You
How
know?
many times are you gonna say that?
Yeah. I mean, I could tell it's a
Sounds like you
problem.
got some dead weight.
Yeah.
I would like to add that I've been saying that for about a year now.
We got a couch and a kitty room, mother. You
Yeah.
want to sleep with a cat?
I think more so than
Cat's got a pussy.
most
Very cuddly.
more so than
She
most
puts out. But
tattooers.
hope so.
Sean, like you need to go like market yourself in very specific niche markets. Like you do need to go hang out at game
Sean
shops.
should be on the coast with the fucking Horitomos and Atchisons of the world.
Yeah.
that's
But I
where
can't
that's
hang
where
out
that
with y'all.
shines.
We can
You
do
hang
we
out
can
with
do
those.
this.
You have kids, man.
He does not.
Dude, if you have that opportunity to travel, and a lot of those artists are a lot more accepting than you think, you should reach out to them. My buddy Frankie did that, dude, when he had no business doing it, and he still he reached out to a bunch of artists, went and worked with those guys, and hung out with them, and became a better artist because of it. And he called, and I remember talking to him about it. He's like, you know, all the stuff that they tell me, it's the same shit you tell me. I was like, yeah, but you never listen to me, you know. But it took
It's
him
different.
having to fucking go work at. He was that shop in ATL Georgia or whatever, that big one that. God damn, I can't believe I can't remember the name of it now.
Coon City.
All or Nothing, I think it was called. Does
Yeah.
that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does.
What's that? Brandon Bond? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He owned it, I think, but he wasn't even like the best artist. They had like 13 or 15 spots there, but some badass artists worked there, and Frankie got to experience that, dude. Like, that's cool. That's something I've not got to experience. I just experienced being around good artists at conventions and stuff, but not really getting to work with them on a daily basis and being their apprentice and he had a lot of blast there. Apparently, Brandon Bond wasn't the best owner and not the best tattoo artist, but all the guys there, the other experiences were awesome. You know, that's something you don't get very often, dude. If you have those opportunities, you should try to take them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love that David loves to go guest spot at that shop in Tennessee, right?
Fuck,
I get hyped
I
for
love
him.
that.
Yeah.
But like it's true. Like Chance, like one of my closest friends. I mean, I love everybody. You're all my close friends. But Chance would be like, man, you're the most happiest. Like when you were guest spotting or traveling to get tattooed, like you didn't have anything. You didn't have any responsibilities outside yourself. So like you're able to
Just
go
focus on
to
tattooing.
another state and spend a couple days and
Be
waste
a free bird,
so
dude.
when I was
be a free bird. Like
And here's a good
it
example.
was all
Would you rather-
tattooing. It wasn't like
Yeah,
you
when I was
and
apprenticing for Roxy, I got a girl pregnant, and I had my daughter who I love. But my Brandon, who was also apprenticing with Roxy, we both used to talk on the side because Roxy was such a crazy piece of shit. We we were like, man, we're gonna have to quit soon. He's not obviously not teaching us no more. and we wanted to jump on our bikes because we had Harleys and choppers that we had built that, you know, and we were gonna jump on our bikes and just fucking hit the road with just our tattoo machines, man, and hit all the badass shops on the way.
Yeah.
We were just gonna go west, go north, go all the way across, come back down, and figure out where we wanted to end up. But I ended up getting a girl pregnant. He didn't. So he did it by himself, dude. He fucking went to California, went north, fucking came back around, stopped at all these different tattoo shops on his bike, and fucking, they would let him hang out because he was a good artist. They would tattoo him. They would hook him up with the shit he didn't have. He got to make money, to move on to the next spot, got to hang out with artists, paint with them, do all this cool shit, you know. I really wanted to experience that, but I didn't, you know, because I wanted to be here for my daughter, which I'm not. Nothing, no regrets or anything, but that I think that's awesome that he got to do that. Something that we have that option. You're a good artist, dude. Any real tattoo artist, they're gonna see you're a good artist already. They're gonna fucking. Don't I tell you that all the time, David? They'll see your work, and they'll be like, "I'll let him work at my shop. Oh, he's missing some shit. Who cares? I'll let him have some shit to use." They don't care because you do good work, dude. That they respect that. They can see it. They'll see it, and
Do you
can
feel like
do
there's
it.
as much of a place for that now?
Yeah,
With all the
there-
tattoo
No, I mean,
shops?
Go to
This is-
Grimy Shop in San Francisco. I guarantee he'd let you work there. There's doesn't Battleground in Tennessee.
Well, I
would
mean,
let
a
you
lot
if
of
you
it's
do-
like
maybe
when
not
I-
you, Chance, but your friend here, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, so, like, the dude that taught us how to, like, actually tattoo that we, like, respect him, we're like, we're gonna listen to you. I've been getting tattooed by this dude before I even started tattooing, so I'm
Yeah.
like, I respect your word as law. But, like, he was a good dude, you know? And, like, the scariest thing to me after, like, years of getting tattooed, while after tattooing, I'm like, I just want to, like, we be in my garage, I'm like, man, I just want to imagine how cool it'd be if I was like, I'm just gonna ask him for like a guest spot, you know, just be like, just let me come and tattoo. Like we talked about that for years, and then it finally happened, and it's like, like I'm scared about it, but I took it and I learned a lot from it, you know.
Yeah.
And then from that experience, like I would leave the state outside of Oklahoma and Texas to like go get tattooed and learn from a dude who like I idolize, and you know, and
That's
I,
awesome. You
I learned
should.
a lot from him, you know, and it's I don't know.
But now you're like stuck, you know.
Yeah,
You're like
now
in
I'm
a
stuck.
rut,
Yeah. A lot of it's like
It's super easy for artists to fall into a rut.
it's fucking
It is.
scary,
It's
dude.
really easy.
It's fucking scary as shit. You know?
Well, that's what I was trying to. That's what I say earlier. I don't know if that was on one of the recordings that he did earlier.
It's cool, man. I'm sorry I fucked up, but go off.
Artists are sensitive people. You know,
Yeah.
you wear your heart on your sleeve. You know,
Yeah.
you're willing to go a little further for women and stuff than most men are, and like
Nice.
be romantic and stuff. There's nothing
Nice.
wrong with that. That's what makes us artists. But also at the same time, you gotta. You can't be scared of shit too, because you can't be a pussy and a tattoo artist. I always
Yeah.
said that. It's like old school
Yeah.
saying or something. I don't know, but
Stands true.
you got to be able to do, because we're not. Well, at least back when it was more underground before it got on TV, you did have. You can't just be a pussy and a tattoo artist, because customers, some of these hardcore wannabe customers would think they can push all over you. You have to kind of stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where I've learned more about the courage thing side of it, is having to deal with those type of customers back in the day. But yeah, dude, don't let the fear hold you back, because if you do good work, man, you should take advantage of that. If you don't have anything holding you back, you should. You know, sometimes you got to go to a convention or go around another good artist to get that new inspiration going, to get motivated again. You know, and it never hurts.
Well, I mean, there's like scary moments, like Sean Green, like when him and I were
There's a
both
painting,
at
too.
Wild Rooster.
Let's practice.
Like we were
We
talking
all
about
are.
like progression
We
and
all
you
fucking
know
are.
like being fully submitted to tattooing and the learning process. Like Sean Green would be like, yeah, dude, I'll sit around, talk to my wife, and be like my wife would be like, would you be a better tattooer if we didn't get married and have kids?
Yes.
And like, yeah, without skipping a beat, he's just like, yeah, I would be, you know. And he was honest in the sense of like, oh no, I love my family, like.
Yeah, same thing.
No,
He's like,
yeah,
but I don't
Sean-
Yeah,
regret
yeah, he wasn't
Sean's
being
a-
a fucking
Yeah.
dick about it or like being
No, yeah,
like
nothing he ever
condescending
says is a
about it.
dick.
He
He's
was
a-
just being honest. He's like, I would be, you know, and I respect that. But like, like I'll hear that, you know, and I'll get a girlfriend and stuff, and she'll be like, "Oh, I want kids and stuff like that." I'm like, "All right, well, do I want to be?"
Yeah,
good
but
at
I don't
tattooing
also
or-
believe in that either, because there's a bunch of badass tattoo artists that have families.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
kind has-
You
I think it's
know, and
right
they are
place,
super.
right time.
Yeah, like the
Here-
dude that did my
so
sleeve.
here's my thing, like, you can get better by fucking busting your ass and doing it the hard way, or you get lucky, or not getting lucky. I'm sorry, it's the wrong way to say it, but you can travel around and go work with other good artists and learn from them. Like, because I can even say, if I would have had better mentors when I first started, I would even be better than I am now. But I can't say that because I've also not put more into it than I could have, you know, until I got to Roxy's shop. Then he forced me with the 13 hours a day. It kind of pushed me into doing more. That's how I got better faster. And then once I left that shop, I went back down because I fucking wasn't pushing myself no more, because everybody was like, oh, Tyson's good, blah, blah, blah. And all these shops wanted to hire me. Well, then I started getting into a rut, you know, thinking, well, I'm good enough to do this when I still had a lot to learn, you know. But I don't, that's falls on ourselves. I don't think having a family can be said by that, in my opinion. I don't think, and like Sean's probably one of the wisest people I've ever met, but I don't think him having his family or not would have made him a better tattoo artist. I think he could have done it either way, because Sean and his family does do a lot of what he wants to do. He's the one that moves his family around to all these shops. He's worked at all these shops. I haven't even worked at. He worked at All or Nothing with Frankie. He went up there because of Frankie. He got to
yeah.
connection there. He went down, worked in Florida at Shamrock. There's a bunch of really good artists there that I know. I could probably hook you up with a guest spot there too. I mean, I haven't even talked to Brandon in a long time. I can't even remember the owner's name, but Sean moved around to do for himself. You know what I'm saying? And moved his family around, you know, to get better. So I don't think your family, if you want to, I don't think that is a true statement, which is weird.
I think where there's a will, there's a way. But
Yeah.
also, I mean, like it could create
And
speed
you
bumps,
have
maybe.
so much free time, though. You're a tattoo artist, or you tattooers. You have a lot of free fucking time.
Yeah,
And
What-
when you're not tattooing at the shop, you have a lot of free time there to get better.
yeah.
I mean,
You
just
know?
look at the screen time. Like, for those of us that do spend a lot of time on our phones, so look at the screen time that we spend on that shit, just scrolling through Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, looking
like-
at other
I-
people's work usually.
Yeah, just staring at
Yeah.
other people's work. We spend that 2-3 hours a day through social media. We could easily spend putting into our own designs or just painting and shit. And
Dude, I used to do it a lot,
and
man.
I'm
when
the
it
most guilty of that.
first
I fucking
came
so
out,
bad
I
about
would
that.
stare at people's shit all the time, and it just started making. I don't know. I had to stop doing it and start doing my own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to do your own art, and all of
Yeah.
y'all are all talented. I mean, you just keep doing it, and you'll
Stop,
get
don't
even
make me
better.
come.
Well, here's a phrase. I don't know if y'all have heard this. I know David and Kylie probably have, because I've said it a lot. Roxy said this, and it always stuck to me. You don't know. Yeah, you don't know how great of an artist you can be because you die one day. In art, you constantly get better until you die. All those badass artists, they could be even better than they were but they died. That's the cool thing about art. You're constantly learning and getting better as long as you're doing it. When you stop doing it, it's when you're not progressing.
That's kind of how I've at least. So I come from I guess kind of a medical background, air quotes, being a medic for a little while, and I kind of treat tattooing in the same sense as like somebody would treat medicine, where you practice medicine the same way we practice, like tattooing is kind of like a practice.
No.
Well, well, let me finish that. Let me finish that statement.
Doctors and medicine people.
It's a medical practice.
You said wrong.
Yeah, you
Well, in that extent of we have a
Where's that
standard.
Trump gif? Like,
Yes, wrong, very wrong.
We're professionals. Doctors and medical people are practitioners.
Well, yeah.
Different.
Well, to the extent the extent that I bring that to is, we're always trying, like, for a medical standpoint, trying to continue to better yourself and improve your knowledge of what you do and do not know.
Genital
Always trying to
arts,
have a better
ask a
treatment,
tattoo.
better way to approach a tattoo, better way to do something or other, something that works better for you, or just a way that you can do it more efficiently. Just make it look good, but I don't know. Like, I'm rounding about in my own words, but it's not just like practicing tattooing.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
There's always the dragon to be chased. On that note, actually, I was thinking about changing my Instagram to Dr. Zol recently, and David was like, "No, that's gay." I'm like, "All right, you're right. That's right."
You gotta do the prof. That's what everyone's doing. Now.
Oh,
Prof Zol.
no. I think, fucking.
You don't want to start wearing drag makeup.
Yeah. I was gonna say Nick York fucked that up for everybody. That was when he was tight
Don't
still.
remind me, bro.
Bro, there's like a whole generation of
getting
tattoos
the
from
full
that
leg
dude
cover.
that were tight as fuck. Like you, Ryder, and my buddy
Don't
Ty.
put Ryder in anything positive.
Hold
No,
up
please don't.
now. Please,
fight you.
please hold. All three of
I
y'all
have a whole
got
nother
tats from
story on
him
that.
when his tats were still like tight. Like when he was just doing like mostly black work trad shit, the tats were fucking tight.
I like all of his black traditional stuff.
The new stuff,
I
like,
haven't seen any of his new
because now he's like he's doing like 1900s style, like
kinda
really,
dig it, though.
really.
Yeah,
I don't fuck with it.
Like,
I
some
don't
of the
like it.
pieces are
I'll-
sick.
Some of it. Like I said, as long as the tattoo is clean and solid, then that's
just
all
don't-
that fucking matters.
I don't
dude.
like it as much. Tyson, come look at, come,
I got a bunch I could show you
come peep game.
on my body.
I don't know.
I liked it whenever he was going for like
Right.
early 1900s type shit, but now that he's doing like 1800s shit, I'm like, nah.
So the yellow pack. There you go.
Well, yeah, you like rustic trad.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I don't like. I don't
Yeah,
Get the fuck out!
What is that? It's fucking sick.
What is that?
I don't know, but it's
Tyson,
sick.
come. Look, this is what he's looking at. Come.
It's like that.
Take
He's like
this
done a
in.
weird ass
Is that like
fucking
a-
lantern
is
and
that-
shit recently.
Is that a clit?
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
like a sea monkey clit.
That's fucking
Sea
dope,
monkey.
dude.
I want.
That's
I
probably
want
the
an
coolest
informed
tattoo I've
take
seen
on
in a
this.
long
How does that make you feel?
I mean, it looks like it's done big enough.
Really? I mean, yeah, it's got something going.
The only thing I don't
Yeah,
like
Instagram-
is
Instagram,
really
I haven't
just
seen that
that
one
big
yet until
spot
you showed it
right
to me.
there. But other than that,
I'd wear that
I think
shit.
it's cool.
Hard as fuck.
What's wrong with it? Like it's
just-
clean and
What's
solid
wrong?
though. It's smooth.
Yeah, I mean it is. I think a lot of these designs are like super busy. I mean, I think he definitely puts effort into making sure that they stay readable. But I don't know. I just don't like the designs that he like gravitates to now. Like, I mean, it could.
Wait, what did we say? What was the debate about?
Dude, all I can see is clean and
I like
smooth
that.
tattooing.
I
Like
just
I
don't-
can't. I don't even care about the designs. Look, that's solid as
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
and clean. I don't know if he's photoshopping his photos, but those are fucking solid.
I don't like it when they
Yeah,
take it
they're
out of
not what I
grayscale.
would pick to do, but shit, he's.
You like
That's the thing.
this?
It's not grayscale. It's just
Is that what he
It
did?
looks like he put a lot of his photos in grayscale.
some of them he does. Other ones are it's just kind of like that portrait mode where it kind of makes
Yeah,
the
he's
skin look a
so
little more
weird.
pink.
kind of figured he.
He's
looks
a- yeah, he's a weird little critter.
scarred up, yeah.
I've seen this.
He's
I
a
actually
little
kind of like
heavy-handed.
this.
It was a good
design.
time though. I had a fun time.
No, but
Yeah,
I do love
That
his
fucking,
Adidas post.
the
though.
eagle and the crane.
I've
Up
just
into
seen
it.
Adidas post.
yeah, let's look at that.
That one's okay. That one's good. That one's good. Yeah, I don't know. I just.
I mean, look, dude. I know, but he
You got a
gets to
little
do
bird.
exactly what he wants. So all
Oh,
black
yeah.
work all the
Yeah.
time. Like he don't do.
Yeah, I'm not willing to argue that because he has done a very
Are we gonna get matching
effective method of
Can Catherine race with you?
fucking
Nope. You're not
marketing himself.
Oh yeah.
Like
And he's like wild looking. So
that. Okay, so
I'm sure
that
that helps.
that specifically that is what I was trying to get at earlier with the Pioneer Woman shit. Like that whole thing. Like that is it. Like the
Well,
whole.
he's just being himself. Has his own style. He's just a little more flamboyant than.
I wonder like.
When being yourself
Yeah,
goes
right.
wrong.
Well, is that
Just
what
a
that
faggot,
means?
yeah.
Flamboyant? No,
I don't know,
Eccentric.
bro.
I'm
He's
saying
eccentric.
He's like,
Flamboyant eccentric is how I would describe fucking an actor. That dude's beyond. Like I
I
feel
feel
like
flamboyant.
Dude, I love
sometimes.
that. I love him though.
I
You
thought
are
he was funny
flamboyant.
in those
Nice, thank you.
He
like
is a
Adidas
our
tracksuits
real
and
life
shit, and he's
shit
got the
poster.
gothic look.
Dude,
and
okay.
Adidas-
Heavy.
Y'all know what Ryder
But
told
that's
me?
his style, though. You know.
Hang
Hang on,
about
hang
it,
on,
man.
hang
He's
on.
living
Please
his
hold.
dream.
Yeah.
Please
It's
hold.
okay for other people. to
Hang
do.
on.
I do
All
what
the
I'm gay.
tattoos he wants, nothing
gay.
but black work, really. I'm sure.
What Ryder told me was that he stopped following him because in his story he posted a picture of himself with like cum all over his face.
That was
Yeah, I
it was
remember that.
stencil
I remember
stuff.
that.
It was funny as hell. It was
No, it wasn't. It was gay.
I'd say it's time to bring up our sponsor, Bounty Paper Towels, for wiping all the cum off your
It was
face.
cum. What are you? How homophobic are you? It's
Get
fucking
your
semen.
Instagram story and wipe that shit off. The paper towel stays white because cum dries clear. Thank you.
I can't hear shit
Bounty,
whenever
the
you're
cookie
yelling
picker
in the
rubber.
mic like that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just, yeah, he's doing the pioneer woman thing. Like, he's really, like, marketing himself to, like, a very, very, like, or I get, maybe it's not that
Where's
niche,
he
but
work at?
he
Dallas?
he
Denton,
probably
I
has his
think.
own space now.
I think it's in Denton. I don't know where.
I'm sure it's in Denton.
That's like a college town. You're gonna have all types.
Dark
of
age.
Yeah.
kids
Dark Age?
that-
That's-
That's where he worked for the longest time.
Impressionable young minds.
Yeah, he was at Dark Age for a really long time.
I'd rather them be impressed by him than anybody else in UNT.
I mean, dude, usually college towns, any towns near military bases, you're gonna get away with a lot of stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
You have a lot of young people that are real
Going to school for art and shit. This one's kind of cool. This is actually he referenced something that's like way older because most of it's like old tattoo flash, but this is like referenced from a fucking 13th century English Bible, and it's like a fucking like a weird knight like stabbing
Dude, my
himself in the
chess
belly.
piece was from like
this is cool.
1902.
Oh, dude.
Like that was cool.
I
Like
need to get my friend to.
Is that who did that?
Yeah.
Nick York did that?
Yeah.
No shit.
Did that, my sternum.
dude, the biggest dub on his part is that we're sitting here talking about him. Like we're giving him like free promotion right now.
Oh,
Stand up and hug me, faggot.
We're all
know you were
people that,
leaving.
are in the area.
How dare you call someone else gay when you're leaving right now? How dare you?
It's only 12.
It's only 12:30.
It's only 12:30. Fuck, dude.
I got a fist fight a woman when I get home. All right.
Nice. Fist fighter vagina.
Sounds like you should win.
Yeah.
No, she stays home all day. She's strong. She's full of energy.
Hug me like a man.
Leave, dude. Please.
I have to.
No, you don't.
Sean, they will make you stay till 4 o'clock.
Next week, plan for 3.
They'll be like, what the fuck,
3 a.m.
dude? Drive drunk. Hang out with us.
Good
All
luck.
right, see ya. Oh, it's just me now.
Oh. You are like
What's so
you actually,
I have a little corner
David, more so than
myself
anybody
now.
here, you probably need the mic closest to your face because you're the most soft-spoken.
Oh man, soft spoken. Sorry.
Well, is that close? It's gonna get. There it goes. Okay.
Say something.
Check.
Come.
Actually, say something. You're saying
Say
it.
something.
Yeah, it's funny. The mic being like really close to your face, you're like still quieter than everybody.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I can
talk
hear that.
directly into the
Yes,
mic. So
that's
like the
it.
sound, the side of it won't pick up directly.
What if I speak
Yeah.
clear and concise? Can you pick me up on your
Yeah, I can hear you from
new
pretty good.
technology? Your
We can
digital
hear you, no
interface?
problem.
Yeah, you at that distance is the same volume as him, like 4 inches away.
That's because I project. That's what my wife says. I project
yeah, you do.
all my problems.
But
Every last one of them.
yeah, no, I love that I asked one question and it turned into an hour and a half of content because it's good
Tyson.
shit. Yeah, dude.
I get
You needed this.
I get nervous about being too close to a microphone because one time somebody called me out when I was playing video games. He's like, "Hey, damn it, duder, can you back that mic up? I can just hear your breathing." And I was like,
Oh,
My
"Oh,
roommate.
fuck."
I, swear
I
to
muted
God,
my shit,
you
and then
would
I
have
didn't
fucking
say a
bag
word
of
for the rest of the
Doritos
game.
like 3 inches from the fucking mic. Don't even worry
Can
about
you
it.
back your wife up because she's biting my
I think it's
balls?
hilarious. Like when I hear you in the chat, like fucking eating pretzels or some shit, and
I do.
and I was just fucking going at it. Like that's fucking hilarious.
I do snack
Let's
when I
fucking
game.
go, gamer.
You ain't
I-
snacking, you're eating a buffet or something.
Dude,
Dude, I got like a
Crunching all the fried food.
I got an arsenal of snacks.
hell yeah.
What I would do,
Okay, back up a little
when I was
bit.
on my
Like,
Destiny
like
2
like
grind,
this,
I'd
like-
get a
there you go,
pound and a
perfect,
half of
perfect.
mini M&Ms from fucking from City Market. And just fucking just, all right, like, oh, 3K. All right, I guess I'm gonna have a little snack real quick while I'm dead and just fucking go back to it. And
Yeah.
Just pound handfuls of fucking sugar.
Dude, that's my raid lead though, or my old raid lead in WoW. He'd like we'd get on into some like nitty gritty shit where everybody knew what they were supposed to be doing. So there'd be like a minute or two of like no comms whatsoever, but you can hear his ass like
Oh man,
breathing.
Like,
super
either I'm
Oh,
rubbing this
Travis,
shit or I'm chewing something. I'm
I was gonna
focused.
show you something I thought you'd appreciate.
Hell yeah.
Only good books they got are those tattoo artists. I have the original first tattoo artist magazine. You got
Dude.
Jeff Zuck, Grime. Adrian Lee. It's got
Dude, this is the one.
Atchison,
This is the
Aaron
one that
Kane
fucking
in it.
the Burleson Library has this book. I was peeping this the other day. I was like, what the fuck? What are the chances?
Also,
that...
Man,
just
you know
because
how
it
many
pissed me off.
tattoos I've gotten out of that book? A lot.
No
Done some
way.
tattoo
Yeah,
designs
that's what's
out of
fucking
it.
up.
No way.
I'm like, yeah.
I don't know if you
I
have
have the,
Warhammer. but
uh,
he's got a bunch of books on Warhammer.
I have
That's
the
cool.
Doom
That's tight as
Eternal
fuck.
art book, and I really would like to do some shit out of that.
I try to buy
at some
all the
point.
art books
Probably
I
not
can.
now.
I have like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag
Yeah, you said
one.
that.
Hell yeah.
I think I got a Skyrim art book. Some other ones.
This is from like original World of Warcraft, right? This
Yeah,
is like
that's not from the.
no expansions or anything.
Yeah, it's not from the World of Warcraft. It's from the Warcraft.
No, this is World of Warcraft, but this
Warcraft
is
3, I think.
this is original World of Warcraft.
That's a good
Because
shit.
original Warcraft, this probably was promotional material that came out with original classic vanilla World of Warcraft.
Oh, the very first one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what that's from. Yeah,
Fuck, I need to bring up my.
before all the expansions.
Yeah.
I think I have third edition. Is it a third or first edition D&D
I've
books? My
had
dad
that book for a
left
long
me.
time, so
I need to bring those up
probably-
and start pulling some references
Yeah,
and shit
this
out of that.
this frame is from the original trailer that plays whenever you open up classic vanilla WoW.
Remember when Mr. T was in WoW?
This is I'm a night elf
A lot
mohawk.
of the scenery I've used, like the swamp scene for tattoos, trees. I used a bear out of there one time, I think.
What I like the most in these is
Interesting.
because this is when Samwise Didier and Chris Metzen were like really their only two artists, like, and they were kind of like all over artists because they were like writing the
How you getting
stories, doing concept art,
How you getting
art
home?
and
Probably ride the bike.
everything. Like in Burning Crusade, I will
you
say
ride?
that like the
You
general,
need to
like the
ride?
level of art
That's way better
that
than
came out with like
Alright, I don't
like
mind.
all the concept art for
Give me
WoW,
a ride, I don't mind.
it elevated like insanely, almost to like being inaccessible
Whatever
because
you
it's
do.
like. There's this dude. His name is Pei Wei. He did a lot of like the
Yeah,
concept
I've heard of
paintings.
him, yeah.
He did the concept paintings of like Illidan and shit for Burning Crusade, and it's like it's just insane. But I love like this, like
Yeah, all
this,
the sketches. That's my favorite too.
yeah, like
Because I'm a pencil artist, so I love all that stuff.
dude, yeah, like I've got an Art of Blizzard book. It's like it's Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft. But I really like the Warcraft part, and I think the book that I have, it came out when like Mists of Pandaria came out.
One of my favorite art things for me when I was younger, because there wasn't a lot of fantasy stuff you could get your hands on.
Totally
but, like,
looks
Magic
nice,
the
dude.
Gathering cards.
That's
That's
really
really
cool.
dopest art on it.
There's
I
two.
love looking at them cards. They always had some sick ass artwork.
Hell yeah, yeah. That's like airbrushing. Airbrush art is like something that's like not hardly a thing anymore. It seems
I don't
like.
know. A lot of people, it's because most people do everything on the iPads, digital. You can do all that digital airbrushing or whatever.
Yeah.
I airbrush model. Can't do actual airbrush
There
paint.
used to be a tattoo artist back in the day that would do these airbrush designs for his flash. They'd be like huge, size of a door almost, and he'd shrink them down on a flash. And I'd always tell people, like, man, we can't do that small. It'd have to be blown up 10 times bigger because that's like 50 fucking colors. In
I have
one
my
spot.
What an
compressor.
asshole.
Yeah, dude. Once I learned that he was airbrushing them all like the size of a door, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Fuck
And then
you,
they shrink them down to
dude.
fit on a flash sheet. That shit was crazy.
That's funny as hell.
He made a lot of money off them. They were cool designs. His artwork was dope.
Do they ever use airbrush for your miniatures for Warhammer?
You can.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's what my buddy Sean does. He airbrushes all of his
They're
miniatures.
just
Yeah.
so small. That's
They're
what-
easier to do with airbrush.
Yeah.
You can
Probably comes out.
Especially,
cover
like-
a lot of areas.
like light
And it's
sourcing and shit, like,
smooth. It's-
you've got-
That's what
Yeah,
he's
you've
got
got, like, a
his-
glowing
that's what I've been
blade.
bullying him about really because he's like, oh man, I don't think I'm that good. It's like, dude, you're better than some of the dog shit I see on Marketplace. Like,
yeah,
you-
it ain't hard to get.
it's really not that hard to be.
like I'm a
'cause
tier 4
he's
painter or something.
painted.
Like that.
He's been painting Gundam for the last 10, 15 years.
Oh, dude, Gundams are hard as fuck.
And so
to
he's
paint.
like, I was like, man, I just don't. It's like everyone says they look good. It's like that's probably why you should probably start taking commissions. If you, I don't
Dude,
really
I've
think
been
that you
doing
can take
it
a
as long
commission
as
for that
him,
shit.
and
'cause
I've
it's
been
fucking
making
easy
money
money.
off my. I've only been doing it for like 4 or 5 years, and I've been making a bunch of money off of it.
Because I see the stuff that he does versus he's even showed me the stuff that he got done from somebody who works for like the Games Workshop. He's like, I think my stuff looks a little bit better than hers. I'm like, no, I can see the light sourcing is different completely from yours versus hers. Like, if you do want to start
Dude,
doing
it's
this,
insane how
yeah.
good some of those. Like that's like there's like pro levels, I guess. I'm not even close to pro level. I'm still trying to do the faces all perfect. That shit's hard
God.
as fuck. I'm just now getting the faces down.
I can't imagine trying to do it on a figure that's like the size,
Dude, it's
less than the
I
size
still
of my
don't know
fucking
how
pinky.
they're fucking doing the eyes so small. Like, as soon as I put the first layer of paint on there, it's like I can't even see the eyeball part of the paint.
Dude, this is like funny because I think a lot of the time with Blizzard in general, because they've been like having it be this way since the 90s,
Fucking
but like
nerd.
they'll design shit to be so much cooler than like
Oh,
the
yeah.
medium of the game can actually convey. Like, bro, if you
Yeah,
only
those
knew-
are all digital paintings. They're sick
Dude,
as fuck.
if-
Dude.
if
That
this
ain't
is-
in the game.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah.
if Desolus actually looked like this, it'd be way more exciting of a fucking.
Well, it's because they gotta
zone.
make the game all PC for people, dude. They can't be too dark because there's people who can't see that well.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, even I mean, like,
Don't play the game.
also taking into consideration that like Vanilla WoW came out in 2004, so it's like people were playing this on fucking CRT monitors and shit, and like just super low resolution I mean, WoW's a prettier game now than it was 20 years ago.
Oh
but,
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's just funny seeing how they had like such high hopes for like a lot of these zones, and then like fucking it ended up being what it was in Vanilla.
I could never
yeah.
get into
That's to be said about
Warcraft.
any like
Oh,
MMO. Like think Final Fantasy 14. I can guarantee. I haven't played a lot of WoW. I played a little bit more Final Fantasy 14 online.
Mm-hmm.
There's some areas that have been.
But that's
neglected.
fairly new though, right?
Yeah. Well, even
Yeah.
that, it's been out for I think 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
There's a
I always
shitload
thought
of
Elder
areas.
Scrolls Online was one of the better online type games like that.
You're not
That's
the
probably
only
problem
person
I
I've
had.
heard
'Cause I
say
jumped
that.
in way too. I probably jumped in like year 2, and even at year 2, they still don't have a whole lot of content out for
What
it. I think
is-
it was probably like year 3 or
Oh,
4, and
Elder
they just started
Scrolls.
pumping out.
Oh
shit
yeah,
for
now
it.
they got tons of shit.
Yeah, everything's out for it.
I've been
now.
wanting to get back into because I got in it when it first came out, and
David,
it just
Tyson,
sucked 'cause, like, my-
boys game night.
buddies always fucking
Yeah, dude. Speaking of that,
split off.
have you ever seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yeah, I think we were just talking about it earlier.
Oh, the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is it cross-platform?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably it's 10 players, 3 clowns.
Okay.
That's that's
'Cause
our
I don't
next
have a
shit.
PS5, but I can probably play it on my PC.
I'm pretty sure. I'll Google it real quick.
What was that samurai game that you were talking about last week?
Was it Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, dude, I was watching my buddy play that.
It's on
last
PC
night.
now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty game.
I need to-
Yeah,
I
they
need to
want
get
60
that.
bucks for it on PC though. It just came out for it.
Well, that's
I'd pay
why
it just for the modding
I
options.
I've
I
been
know,
nicotine
but
off
it'll
my
be on
girlfriend so I can
sale
save
in a
money
couple
and
of
buy
months.
games.
Or another month or two. I ain't paying 60 bucks for. How old is that game?
2 years
Yeah,
probably.
fuck that.
Ghost of Tsushima.
It's knowing Sony, it's probably 2 years old. They
Yeah,
probably
it's
waited a
gotta
year and a
be
half,
when
not 2.
I remember-
2021. It was pandemic era.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was.
it's a dope ass
Yeah,
game. I'm not
fuck Sony.
knocking that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay 60 bucks for an old game.
It was Sony exclusive for 2 years, and
Yeah.
that's why we're just now talking about it. Is because it just came
2020.
out.
It is cross-platform.
2020?
It was 2020 when Ghost
Yeah, they just
came
put
out.
Yeah, I'm down.
those other PlayStation games on there too. That Last of Us game and
The new Spider-Man yet or no?
not the new
not
Spider-Man,
yet.
I don't think, but the old Spider-Man's on there.
When
The
that comes
Days
out, you guys-
Gone is on
dude.
there now.
You gotta check that
But
out.
they
That
want
new
60
Spider-Man
bucks
game
for
is
all them
fucking
games.
sick.
I'm not gonna pay that.
Yeah, that's why
Not for old games. I'm sorry.
dude. The
You
only
can go get it at the for the PlayStation for like 20
Yeah,
bucks.
that's what
You
I've
know
been
what
doing. I've
I'm
been going
saying?
back
10
to my
bucks.
backlog. I
for
finally started
free.
playing. I don't know if y'all have played it.
But I'm
System
an
Shock, I played the
Xbox
System
guy,
Shock
so
remake.
I
That's
play
fun
on
as hell.
Xbox. And in the Xbox season or Game Pass, there's tons of
It's
free
fucking baller.
games.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
fucking good.
All the games you want to
pricey.
play.
Game Pass Ultimate, PC and my Xbox
Yeah.
are hooked the fuck up.
Me
It's
too.
so
Probably
good,
sneak
dude.
in around like.
And
sitting
I
at
have
this table.
Plus
Steam
plus
as
Back 4
well.
Blood.
So we could probably sneak in around sitting at this table.
play some casual
Sneak in
MK.
around.
I need to get that capture card,
Probably.
dude.
If you're trying to
I
get,
ain't seen
I have
that.
I have a
Terrible.
I'm
Delgado.
trying to get your cheeks clapped.
We should utilize
I can bring that up.
If you want the
basically
beans.
unused, I still have all the cabling and everything. It'd probably work better because I had it for whenever I was thinking about streaming and everything,
Uh-huh.
That's fun, dude.
and for game capture.
Yeah.
But it's just been collecting dust, so it's
Yeah.
brand new. It'll do 60 frames.
Well, that's cool because I upload to YouTube at 30, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
we're
60
good.
frames. I think at least 720. So
hell yeah.
nice and smooth.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, that'll be a better visual than what we got for tonight. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do for the visual component of tonight's. I don't know why the fuck my camera wasn't working.
Take a photo of your balls.
It'll be a repeating video of my balls just jiggling.
I'll send
around.
you that sticker I have of Robert Downey Jr. holding the revolver, and then you can just have that as the
Hell
entire
yeah.
thumbnail.
Hell yeah.
Also, Tyson, what is that revolver? Is it 44 or 357?
Which one?
The
Oh,
Wesson?
it's a Governor. It shoots 445 and
45 long
410.
Colt and
Shoots all three. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Tyson.
That's why I got it,
wanted to
because
ask
the
you.
judge only shoots 2 different. That one shoots
Yeah.
all 3.
I would rather get a Smith & Wesson than a Taurus too.
Yeah.
It's better quality.
Yeah,
You're-
dude, my
you're gonna
other
get fucked up.
Taurus, I can't even get the bullets out of it right now.
That's the thing.
I'm
I've
pissed
heard
off.
so many like, oh, Tauruses are sick, and then
I
it's
never
like, oh,
liked
can't
them, but I
eject my
bought that
shells.
one off my dad like an idiot, dude. Now I can't even unload it. Shoot it one time and fucking can't get the bullets to come out.
Speaking of, we gotta plan another shoot day.
Yeah. Because the pumpkins I have are now rotting finally, so
bring
you
'em.
can't blow those
Oh,
up
yeah.
anymore.
Did you ever get a tractor
lasted
out there and
all
dig
this
that
time.
hill up better?
No,
I knew you didn't.
I don't even live there anymore.
You said you were going to.
David, I want to hear that question that you had.
Oh yeah, I had a question for I guess I don't know.
For who?
For you
Tyson.
specifically.
For the forum.
Did you would you say that you got into art and illustration when as a kid in school, or
I drew when I was a kid, yeah. I used to love to draw.
so was there anything that really sparked your interest in it?
Art?
Yeah, anything specific that really sparked your interest, I want to learn how to do that.
This shit right here. This is it for me. I love the fucking weapons.
I used to draw stuff like that for, we were thinking we were making a D&D game. I would draw all the weapons and the map out, the trees and the roads and little mini stick figures. And I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain that question correctly. I've loved art since I was a kid. Just knowing that I can create stuff on my own, I think, was the coolest part. I could sit there and create it myself.
Like with time and patience, seeing
Yeah.
what you see and being able
And
to
nobody
recreate
really
it.
in my family messed around with art, so I just did it myself. My mom always said I used to like to draw. When I was younger, I always drew on everything. I do remember certain little key marks, like in first grade. I remember this kid drew the super easy Ninja Turtle design, and I fucking was like, I want to do that, And I remember doing that, and I was like, I can't even remember how he did it now. It was like, you just draw these 2 little things and another little thing, and made this little Ninja Turtle head poking up behind something,
Got clicked.
Yeah.
Oh man, just the interviews with the Ninja Turtles artist, he's so cool.
Yeah.
And
The
go
old
ahead.
school shit, the 2 guys that originally designed it. You're talking about
The
them?
comic book art, the original
The
comic book
original
artist.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really cool.
Because they were just did it to be funny.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they did they was on that documentary. I watched a documentary about those guys. It was pretty cool. They were just doing that to be funny, and they actually original Ninja Turtles was really dark, and they
had to lighten it up.
for kids. Yeah, made it into. I love the Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. That shit was
Yeah,
was
that's
my
that's really
jam.
cool because it's kind of the same thing. I'm sure y'all can probably relate, either comic books or something or other. For me, it was
comic books for sure.
Me and my buddies were we're either making some fake tabletop game or we were trying to draw comic book panels and shit like that and just
Yeah.
do other stuff
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
taking
a
inspiration
bunch of
from everybody else we've seen draw other shit.
Yeah.
You know what it was for me,
What's
and
that?
I know I've told Travis this. It was Goosebumps book covers, dude.
Yeah.
You
Tim,
know what?
Tim
That's sick as fuck.
Jacobus.
Yeah,
When
we
I
talked
was
about this a few weeks ago. Yeah.
yeah, dude. I was always so fascinated by it, and I would remember renting the books from and buying the books from the book fair and stuff, and I would remember trying to draw the covers exactly the way I saw them,
Yeah.
and that was as a kid in elementary school. So then since then it was I was always drawing and stuff. It's funny because I met Justin in 5th grade. He was a grade above me, but he flunked. and so we met when
no hesitation.
yeah, and so we met in 5th grade when I was going to 5th grade, and he failed, and I was always from 1st grade to 5th grade, everyone knew that I was the artist, and I was always the one that drew, and I did good drawings, and I remember people would ask me to draw them shit all the
All
time,
the
and they give me
time,
$5 and stuff,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
same shit.
And it was really cool. But and so I remember from 1st grade to 5th grade, I was always the artist kid. I was always the good drawer. And then 5th grade rolls around, everyone's like, "Dude, have you seen Justin's drawing?" I was like, "Who the fuck is Justin?" I was all kind of bent out of shape about it. I was like, "Who is this?" And I saw this For me at the time as a sixth grader or fifth grader, this fucking tiger drawing he did, it was hanging up on this teacher's wall. And I was all fucking mad about it. I was like, I got, which is funny because that's how I first met Justin, and then so I tried to like revamp my drawings. I got to really buckle down and get to it, and but then we actually became like super good homies.
Oh yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
And there was a school project where in fifth grade we read like the original Frankenstein book.
Yeah.
And there was this project where they wanted you to illustrate your favorite scene from the book or something that like when you read it, like you visualize and you like, or something that you can take from that book and put it into your brain and do like a illustration of it. And it was like everyone in fifth grade had to fucking do it. And I remember, I think Justin was like the part where he was like laying in the bed and getting hooked up or whatever, Justin drew that, and then I drew the part where it was like a scene, I guess, where he was like peeking through the curtains looking in somebody's house or something. So I drew him all like the hands looking through the curtains and him looking all creepy as fuck and stuff. Dude, our school like nutted over those two drawings, and they actually like put them in the display case in the main hallway where like trophies and shit would go. They put me and Justin's drawing on there. And they had us do the fucking morning pledge, which was a disaster, dude. Yeah, like I promise they'd never ask us to do that shit again. Like it did not go well. We were just like laughing the whole time. And but it was also cool because like for the rest of the year, they would like introduce us like in that morning announcement to like the two best artists in the school, David and Justin, and their artwork is hanging in the display case in the main hall to check out. And for the rest of the year, this was like in September. So the rest of the year, we got to literally just like fuck off the whole last period and we were in fifth grade and we got to go to the kindergarten hall for the art class, like for very last period or whatever. Like the kindergarten had like art class, and we'd go over there and they'd have us go over there and just kind of like help the kindergartners with like their art projects and stuff. But it was just goofing off the whole time, dude.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
like kindergarten's gonna listen to us and shit. But
Maybe
it was
you're
fucking
You're a
dope.
sixth grader, dude.
Yeah. That was cool. But I'll never forget that morning pledge, dude. What did it was like we had this school nurse, dude, and she was like ugly as fuck. Dude, she was ugly
Olga,
as yeah, dude.
Ukraine.
She was like an orc. And
Hell yeah.
Hell
That
yeah.
speaks
there was
to me.
we
That's how
went.
you know she can lift you off the fucking soccer field if you pass out.
Yeah. Exactly. And we weren't really stoked about the morning pledge. We thought it was really corny. Or not that the pledge is corny, but like us doing it, like really you're gonna have us do it just because we're like the best artists in the school or whatever. But we did that, and we were in the principal's office where they did it, and it was just the two principals doing the morning announcements, and they had us two in there, and there was this framed photo of the school nurse, but she's wearing one of those fake like teeth thing that you see on Halloween or whatever, with she already had bad
like
teeth.
fucked up teeth and shit.
She already had bad teeth, but like when she put this thing in, it was like even worse, and she made the ugliest face. And I thought it was kind of funny. And then they're like in the middle of the morning announcement, it's like two principals, and I kind of like elbowed Justin. I was like, "Hey, look at that picture." And Justin lost his shit, dude. Could not contain himself. He just laughed, and then it was making me laugh really hard. And I remember one of them like turned, Miss Hartner, I remember her name. She like turned around, snapped at us like this, like, and we were like trying so hard to straighten up, but we couldn't get our shit together, dude. And it was time for us to do the pledge, and then we were just fucking like laughing throughout the whole pledge. It was a bad deal, dude. They did not ask us to do that shit anymore.
That's fucking. I mean, honestly though, like on a real note, it's cool as fuck that you had something like so early in your life that like kind of reinforced this notion that like art is like a path for you. Like art.
Yeah,
Is
I was
like
always
Do
that
that and having a bond with somebody else and having the competitive.
Yeah, we did our
Yeah.
apprenticeships. We did our apprenticeships together and both became
Straight up
tattooers
like childhood
together.
rivalry.
Yeah,
that is
That's
cool.
what's up.
That's what makes art happen faster. Is
Yeah.
like when me and Brandon were apprenticing together, it was so cool to try to one up each other all the time on our
Yeah.
designs. Like who can
Yeah.
come up with the coolest business.
Yeah, that's what me and
design.
it always seemed like kind of a competition with
Yeah,
me and
it
Justin
helps
growing
you
up.
improve, man. It's
Yeah.
And it's like a battle. It's fun as fuck too, you know. And it's not like the end of the world when you don't do good because you can always.
It's more inspiring to do better. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
you-
he did so much better. Like, fuck that dude. I want to
I'm
smoke
gonna
him out of the fucking water.
blow him out of the water with this
Yeah.
next painting, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have all this beautiful art to show for it, which is super
That's
cool
what's
as
that's
well.
what's great about like art and tattooing in general. Is like the vindictive side of it. It just creates better shit 90% of the time.
Yeah.
90%.
But
of the
that's
time.
why we get inspired,
It's
you
so
know, when you
great.
go to a convention or some art scene or something. Even sometimes going to the art festivals in Fort Worth, you know, I like to go to those and
Yeah.
get inspired by stuff. And
Yeah.
you're like, damn, I know how to do that. I could be doing that stuff myself. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
super cool because you've
Yeah.
been studying art, and I love that. I love gaining all that knowledge in art and being able to look at stuff and be like, oh man, I know exactly what stroke that dude did to create that. You know, and like that's so cool. You know, and I don't feel as frustrated anymore because I know I have more knowledge. It's like I said, I'll say it a lot. It's all about gaining that knowledge.
For me,
It's
car
not
shows
hard
and
because
paint
y'all
striping.
have all the time to do it. We always have the time.
Not even just the time, but like the tools are so
Yeah,
accessible.
It's
We're
now.
all,
the boys
it's, yeah,
some,
it's- and
some
it's
quarter
even
panels
more
and-
accessible than it was when I was coming up.
Yeah,
dude. We had
100%.
nothing,
That's what I'm
nothing.
saying.
There
Went
was
to
no
order y'all some,
internet and shit
some
when I
quarter
first
panels and
started
fenders
drawing.
for a fucking 57 Impala, and we're starting to do some pinstriping and shit.
Hell yeah. That's what it's crazy because like I mean I hadn't been involved with tattooing for forever, but like you know it's crazy to hear you say you started tattooing in 2008 because it's like fucking 2010 2011 when Lost Highway was a thing. You had some big brass balls for a fucking 2-year tattooer. Like that shit, like I would have never thought that back then you'd only been tattooing for that long. But you know even back then like fucking shit was not super accessible. I mean like fucking
No, yeah.
that was like fucking MySpace era, you know, and it was like fucking
Oh yeah.
it's like fucking back in that
I
time.
still have tons of all that original artwork, dude, in a Rubbermaid container from back then, dude.
Yeah.
I love having all my old artwork to be able to look back on, like, damn, I'm way better than I was. I can't believe I drew that terrible ass shit.
Oh,
back
man.
then. I thought that was a good tattoo. It's crazy.
Yeah, back then I
Or
mean
good
like
design, but yeah,
That's one thing Sean told me to do is like keep all my old drawings and just like not get rid of anything and just
Yeah,
finish your
yeah.
shit.
you
Yeah.
have to, so you
Yeah.
can see your progression. It's the only way for you to know for yourself. It's for yourself only.
To an extent, it enables my my hoarding tendencies, but
yeah, that's fair.
I fucking love it. Because you get to see that progress over time.
Yeah, I have a huge Rubbermaid container. I got a giant portfolio zipper thing. I got that whole toolbox's top drawers full. I've never thrown my shit away. Only every once in a while I give the drawings to the customers, but other than that, I know my daughter, she likes to go through all my stuff and pick which ones she likes and take them home.
Hell
But I have enough to put books together. And I've
Yeah.
been told to do that a bunch of times.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just never do.
yeah.
Just do like one of the spiral binders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just
Just
something
sketchbooks, you know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, like that
Everybody
Neil
fucking
But
James
I've
Wood.
always been a pencil
pencils.
artist, and I've learned how to transition my pencil drawings into tattoos. That's my style. That I don't really have like a unique style or anything. I just follow the rules of tattooing. The third rule really is, and try to
Yeah.
for longevity purposes. And I just draw, you know, and I just feel more comfortable on paper than I do on the iPad.
Yeah.
And
That's
I like
fair.
to erase.
Yeah.
You know, Rox used to bitch at me all the time. I know how to draw without erasing,
Yeah.
but I like to, man. I like to correct myself, and like, because to me, it's like, oh
the
wow, that
hardest
looks
thing.
cool, but I can make it look cooler, so I just erase it and fix it. You know, it's just part of my creative process.
And
It's,
sometimes you need that fucked up stroke
Yeah,
or
but,
pencil.
I mean,
if
it
you're
just
like, oh,
works
no, I
for
can just kind of
me.
move it in
That's-
this way, fuck that off, and then we're set.
yeah, and that's what you should do. Just do what works best for you. You know,
Yeah.
learn the right way to do it, because you can't break the rules if you don't know the rules.
Yeah.
Learn the rules, break them. That's the cool thing about art. Learn
Yeah.
all the rules and then fucking fuck them all up, because that's art. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And I love seeing like some of those new styles where there's some dude doing traditional, American traditional, and then doing like a neon glow through the traditional
Oh,
piece, and
yeah.
it looks sick as fuck, and he's doing it right. I think that's cool as hell. He's just pushing the envelope. He's taking
Yeah.
something and then also will probably stay looking like that because he did the light sources thick enough or wide enough for that shouldn't blur together over time. Like, he did a really good job. He's using the rules and breaking them. That's cool. That's a cool thing about art is you got to know the rules to break them, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want. And that's why I want people. That's why you should do your apprenticeship and not try to just half-ass it and buy the shit. Just learn the rules. You know, do it. And if you, like Roxy told me when I went there, I'd already apprenticed for a year. I'd already started tattooing for a year, and he said, "Dude, give me 6 months, and I'll have you tattooing better." And he did. He taught me the rules and everything, and that's how it got better. I probably could have done it even faster if I wanted to. I mean, I don't even think it took me the full 6 months, but it's just that's it all putting what we want to put into it and then knowing the rules. Just know the rules. Everything has rules in life, apparently. You just got to know them so you can break them.
Finding them loopholes.
Yeah. It's
Life's
like
all
driving
about
down the
loopholes.
road, like, yeah, there's a double white line, but I'm going to drive around it any fucking ways, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I ain't trying to hit that fucking squirrel.
yeah.
I don't want to blow my
fucking
fucking
do what I
tires.
want as long as I'm not fucking hurting nobody. And also with tattooing, dude, you don't practice on your customers. I think that should always be said. You don't practice on your customers. If you don't know how to fucking do it, don't do it. Do it on your friends. Do it on your fucking self. Practice on yourself.
You need that consent. It's like it's not a
No,
customer. It's
because
that
they're
friend.
paying
It's
you
that
to do a
friend
good
that-
job. They're not paying you to do experimental shit that you don't know how it's going to work out.
It's even better if your friends are tattooers.
It's even better if you just do that shit on paper.
yeah,
on
well,
your
yeah,
iPad.
yeah. That 100%.
And dude, those iPads, dude, that shit's a game fucking changer
It
for y'all.
is.
Y'all
It is.
should have no problems putting stuff together correctly too.
Yeah.
And like that's what now at David, I've been telling Chance this. He hasn't done it, I think, but one time. But Kylie does it. Justin does it all the time. All I ask them to do, because they're artists, they're tattoo artists now, or they're tattooers. I can't, because Chance is in there. So you just bring me your design. Bring me your
There
fucking
it is.
design, and I will tell you what I think about it before you do the tattoo. And I'm not
Yeah.
going to say that's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. All I'm going to say is like, hey, what's up with that leaf? Does that look correctly there? Does that look like that would grow there? Or maybe change this, or maybe move that, or why is this eye? I'm just going to point out the obvious things. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
a dick about it. I'm just going to help you with your design, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Because
important.
you are artists now. Y'all
Yeah.
should be able to do it. But I know more than you, so if you want me to help you, just bring your design. I'll tell you that's not tattooable. I wouldn't do that or whatever. I'll tell
Yeah.
you the correct thing because that's the way it should be.
Yeah. Well, it's important. Like that's. I think that's like a facet of like most like successful shops is having that like amenability to be like, you know, and you're humbled by it. You know, you present this like, hey, what do you think about this? And then you know you can be told like you're correctable. You know what I mean? Like you're not like making excuses for why it is that way.
Super Gumby almost.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like that's like because Grimey's got a podcast. Grimey, and he talks about that dude Henry Lewis a lot and his relationship with that dude Henry Lewis, and he talks about like exactly what you just said, like how much they benefit from being around each other. Because I think the thing is too, like regardless of your level of experience, like you know if you've spent fucking 6 hours working on a fucking drawing, you get accustomed to its shortcomings, and you know you can turn the piece of paper upside down, look at it that way, and like, oh, okay, I see that. But there's certain things you're just not going to see, so you present it to somebody else, and they're like, okay, what's up with this? And you're like, oh, fuck, I've just been looking at it for fucking 6 hours, so like, duh, it makes sense that like I wasn't seeing that.
Yeah, outside the box perspectives, that's always good to have for sure in any almost every aspect of your life, to be honest.
Yeah,
But yeah, you have to, dude. And that's all I'm here to do. I'm not here to make money off of David and Kylie and Chance and Justin, anybody else, John that works here. I'm just here to help y'all get better so that when I can't tattoo anymore, I know that it's tattooing's in good hands with y'all. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that y'all respect it and the industry, and you respect art, and you want stuff to progress, and you just want to do what we're paid to do, which is just a clean tattoo.
Yeah.
That's what we're paid to do.
Yeah,
Everything
that's-
else is just fun, and we can do whatever we want. We
Yeah.
can practice on each other, and we can have fun and do all that dumb shit with each other.
Yeah.
We can make money doing clean tattoos.
Yeah.
But y'all should, as young artists, find a style and fucking be the best at it. That's how you progress.
Yeah.
Don't try to absorb too much at one time. I used to do that all the time. I was all over the place.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Once he told me about just knowing American traditional, like, it was crazy. Then I just focused on that.
Yeah.
I got good at it.
It's the most
I
solid.
love it. I fucking love American traditional.
Yeah, I mean it's like the most solid foundation, right? 'Cause I mean,
Yeah, it's a good. I told them when they first started, I said, hey, first thing I'll teach you is American traditional because we're in America, and
Yeah.
it's a good foundation off of fucking tattooing. You know?
Yeah.
It's a good.
I
good,
think-
good. You
I
can't
think-
do clean lines. You shouldn't even be fucking with it.
yeah. I mean, I think that like there's a lot of traditional adjacent styles too. I mean,
yeah, tons of them. All of it. I use American traditional for my style.
Mhm.
I just use that third rule with everything I do.
yeah,
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. That's what the.
Yeah.
It's the rules for the skin. If that makes sense. It's just like acrylic has its rules for the canvas, and oil has its rules, and watercolor, blah blah blah.
yeah,
That's just the rules for the skin, you know. Look at Japanese tattooing. It's the same thing. It's a third rule.
yeah,
It was been done for like thousands of years,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
for the same way, over and over.
At least 1,000.
The only thing that's changed is the artists that got
Yeah.
better. They're doing their own art,
Yeah,
mixing up their own styles using those same rules. That's why Shigi's one of my favorites. He does Japanese, but different than what the normal rules apply. He applies his own rules. So dope, so big.
So I asked this because I feel like it's the thing that's the most averse to like a traditional foundation. Where are you at with like color realism?
Bless you, my son.
I think it's amazing, but it's not my thing. I'm not very good at it because I don't do it. I don't
Yeah.
draw it. I don't paint it. I
Yeah.
don't, you know.
Yeah.
But it is like if I think it can be done, if as long as it's done on the right size,
Yeah,
you know, and you can apply those rules to it,
yeah,
where it ain't gonna blur together over time. Other than that, I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
I do respect the artists that can pull it off. Nothing
Yeah,
against
sure.
them. I'm just not. It's not like a make money and do a good tattoo style for me. You know.
yeah. I got.
But I'm old school. I like the old school feel of things. Like the
Yeah,
old-
yeah. I mean, it's like I mean, fantasy art or just things that were designed to be like a design and not like you're trying to emulate realism. Because I just can't like imagine things like that. Like I kind of think about conceptualization in terms of what comes from my imagination. Like if I'm going to tattoo a tiger on somebody, I'd rather tattoo the idea of a tiger instead of like trying to fool the eye into thinking that it's like a real tiger. You know?
Yeah, I get that. I kind of agree with that, honestly, because I don't like why get a photo of a tiger tattooed on you when you can have that same photo owned on your computer or in a book.
Yeah, get it
It'll last
framed.
forever that way.
Yeah,
too.
and it's the
yeah.
same concept with why get a bunch of words on you when they're all in books.
A
You know
picture's
what I'm
worth
saying?
1,000 words.
Exactly. Like
Goddamn
that's
right.
the way I was taught. Like why we should be able, as an artist, you should be able to design something on the words that they're using to describe their image.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's what we all do. Everybody, like when they illustrate a book, they're designing it based off the words from that book. You know, that's what it takes. That's what I think. I think you should always get imagery.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree.
obviously, there is, you know, I got a few words here and there. You know, there's certain things. It's our perspective as a person to get something that we want that means something. So that has a little bit different. But other than that, most of that shit, like don't sink or swim or whatever, all those
Yeah.
little cheesy ones, that's something you can portray. Each individually can be drawn 1,000 different ways, probably,
Yeah.
of an image based
Yeah.
on that wording is probably the best route because that's what it is. A tattoo is an image representing the words you're trying to convey.
yeah.
So, Yeah, I think hyper realism or whatever kind of falls into that category.
Yeah.
But there's artists that were doing that as paintings before that and transitioned over to tattooing, and that's cool.
I don't think it's.
And I think they stick with that. That's pretty much all they do is their one style.
Yeah.
And that's cool too, because it's not really affecting us.
Yeah.
Because they're the only ones that do it, really.
Yeah,
It's that small percentage of artists.
The
It's
people
not-
that want that will seek that out.
Yeah, and I'll even
And
send them
ideally,
to that.
well,
you
there
know.
are the people, the shitheads are like, oh, I can do that, and
Yeah.
then won't refer to them to those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
But,
sent people to
there's-
Dark Age all the time. I'm like,
I
dude,
try
there's
to.
dudes that do
I try to
that
send
shit
people to
all
what
that
they need
time
to,
up
best
there.
I can.
They do that stuff there. We don't here, I don't like doing portraits because it's too. I've done plenty of them, but I don't like the whole process of it. It's not fun for me. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole mapping out the picture correctly and the looking at it and it looks like some fucking geological map and shit. That's not fun for me for the tattoo, I'm not knocking it at all, and I'm glad that I think it's amazing you can do portrait. It's just not the fun style
Yeah.
for me. I don't really like to do it, so I don't advertise myself as a portrait artist. I don't try to do portraits because I know I'm not the best at portraits. I can do them, no problem, but it's not. I'd rather send it to an artist that loves to do portraits because that's
Because
their
they'll put more into
yeah,
it than you
it's
would.
fun for
Yeah.
them. They know all the tricks and the niches and everything you should know. I don't, because that's
It's
not
like you're saying,
my
somebody
thing.
putting 110% into that tattoo, or just knowing somebody will put everything they got into that fucking tattoo,
Exactly.
no matter the price. Just
Yeah.
like they want to give them a good tattoo because that's just their job, and they love that shit. It's
Yeah,
their bread and
but
butter.
that's exactly what I do with all my original drawings, and then anything I dub tattoo worthy, I put all 100% into it, if not more. So, because that's what people are paying you to do.
Yeah.
And if you want to make money, you got to do a good job. You can't just be half-assing everybody because that gets around. Tattoos, like I said, when you make the mistakes, well, eventually that shit gets around. People get enough bad tattoos, they're not going to want to get tattoos from you. And then also, that's the way I used to always think, but there's shitty artists out there doing more tattoos than me probably.
Oh,
So it's
man.
like, and probably charge more money than I do. So it's also like that. So
I work with them. I
yeah,
know.
and it makes no sense to me how that works anymore. But that's like I
it's
said, you
just
got to
because like,
keep
oh, I know a
educating.
tattooer, they can tattoo, and that's just kind of how it. Because that's like you were saying before, people aren't always educated, and so that's why you got to take that part as a tattooer to educate your client, so they know what is and isn't tattooable and what you can and can't do. Because when you're not honest with your client, that's when people start getting the doo-doo dog water, and will then either run your name in the mud because you're not a good tattooer, or say, oh, this guy's the best, he can do everything, and then that person just keeps getting more and more stuff and keeps burning people out.
I think of it like how my dad always uses this one saying, it all comes out in the wash. So I mean, like somebody could leave the shop like fucking stoked, and a lot of times they do, and they want the tattoo to be good. Like they'll look at it through like rose tinted.
Well, even most bad tattoos look good when they first are done.
Yeah, exactly that. But like, yeah, and like they'll leave stoked about it, but then it's like, as that tattoo begins to have to stand the test of time, it's like whether it comes in the form of them just being a little bit hesitant to let you be the one that does their next tattoo, whether it's just because you weren't honest enough with them about like how the tattoo was going to come out. Like you knew what was going to happen, you knew how the tattoo went, but they left stoked, or they begin to get to wear that tattoo around people, and everybody's like, oh bro, that fucking sucks, and it's like that's something that happens. I mean, I can recall a time I did this tattoo on this dude at fucking Tattoo Ranch, and he had like a weird gap on his arm, and he wanted a Texas flag in it, and I'm like, well, check it out, like the Texas flag is a fucking rectangle, it's not a rectangular gap. I was like, here's one thing I could do, I could make it like a waving flag. And so like it was this like
Kind of like just
yeah I was like, it
get what
was
you're
like
saying.
this weird like
Or he just wanted to fill in the gap with a flag. So
yeah
You could have just made it big enough, put the most important parts into that gap, and
Yeah.
That's
Part
essentially
of the star, part of the center line. Part
Yeah,
of
just make it just big fucking red,
Yeah, that's
blue,
he
and then
can
this
tell
big
people
skin
what
break
the
right
fuck it's
there.
supposed to be.
that's essentially what how it went down. I mean, I put like waves in it, you know, because it was just like because it was like a weird shaped gap. It was like in his ditch and everything, and he was insistent on it not having outlines in it, and I'm like, you know, I use this phrase, letting the client win. I let the client win, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I guess we won't put outlines in it. But like, I guess
For background, you can kind of get away with that though.
Yeah.
Sometimes, in my opinion, because
yeah,
you're just
yeah,
filling in those little gaps with solid ink, so it's not that big of a deal.
yeah,
As long as if you were putting the star in it, as long as you make the star big enough
yeah.
to where it's not gonna fucking blur over time,
Yeah,
then I
just
would
turn
think
it
into
it's
a black
hole.
passable
I mean, yeah, it's
for
the
a
Texas.
tattoo.
Yeah, it's the Texas flag, not the
Yeah,
American
it's a
flag.
black
So I
one.
mean, yeah, it can have a big old star in it. Well, okay, so what ended up happening was because we arrived at we're gonna do a waving Texas flag. So obviously on a waving flag, the star in the Texas flag is not gonna be like an equilateral fucking star, you know. And you know, like my method for consulting with clients involves them getting to fucking see the design 3 fucking times. You get to see it once, like on the iPad. I'm like, how do you feel about this? Oh yeah, that's great. You see it once I print it out because I have to figure out how big it's going to be. I'm holding it up to his arm. Like, are you cool with that? He's looking at it in the mirror. And then finally with the stencil, once it's stenciled on his arm, he's like, oh yeah, that looks great. Well, I mean, he was like stoked enough about it to like leave a tip and everything, but then like dude comes back 6 weeks later and he's like, bro, this star is so fucked up. And I'm like, I mean, what do you mean? He's like, it's not even like the arms aren't even all the same size. I'm like, well, it's a fucking waving flag. Like, do you not remember the conversation that we had about like we're gonna make like the stripes aren't touching either. All of this contributes to it being a waving fucking flag. I mean, you could see the shadows cast on like each ripple from the fucking flag. Like, why do you? You know, how, like, what do you think happened? He's like, so you're not going to fix the, and it was just like this, like, whole ass thing. I'm like in the middle of a tattoo, took my gloves off, and I'm like talking to him about it. I'm like, bro, if you just want to come back in like fucking 2 hours after I finish this fucking tattoo, like, we'll do whatever the fuck you feel like needs to be done to the tattoo. But I think honestly what happened was, you know, he went and wore the tattoo for a month, went and got to be around his biker buddies, and they're making fun of him because,
Yeah, it's exactly probably what happened. That's what always happens, to be honest.
yeah.
But that sometimes it just comes back to just being a lack of knowledge. Sometimes you have to know that customer's going to be like that before
Yeah.
they know they're going to be like that. It sucks.
Dude,
like I
yeah.
learned
Yeah.
how to tattoo where my tattoos heal up without the customers having even to touch them.
Yeah.
That's how I tattoo. Like most of the time, you don't even have to touch my tattoo. It's going to heal up fine.
Yeah.
Because customers won't even take care of it.
Yeah.
And you can't, what are you going to do? You're going to keep doing nice tattoos and people are going to fuck them off
Yeah.
and not take care of it and it looks like shit later. So the only thing I could do was start figuring out how to tattoo people without hurting them more and less and more, which is a key word here, finesse, having to finesse the ink into the skin to where it'll heal up on its own. One of David's passing tattoos before I announced him being a tattoo artist was him doing a tattoo. I didn't take care of it to see how it was going to heal.
Yeah.
And it healed up fine
Yeah.
without
yeah.
taking care of it. Wearing long socks and jeans over it and letting it dry out, and it still healed up fine without any fucking problems.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
Yeah.
Like I do it all the time. It's just called finesse.
Yeah.
So you have to do that, man. Unfortunately, like know your customers. Like I got a guy come in, he's a roofer. He's a roofer in Texas.
Yeah.
His skin is fucking tan.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
leather.
yeah.
It's not tattooable. So you know what I do? I say, hey man, you want a dragon half sleeve? You want it on your lower arm? Your skin's like leather. It's probably gonna look like shit. It's gonna be chewed up.
Yeah.
Me having to overwork it to get the ink in there. How about I do it on your upper arm? 'Cause
Yeah.
you have
You wear
white
sleeves.
skin
Yeah, yeah.
right here,
Yeah.
perfect for tattooing.
Yeah.
You just gotta, talk to them and then figure it out and just, it sucks. And when you're younger, you don't know any better. You just want to do the tattoos and
Yeah.
get them the fuck out and do the next one.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the situations you're in, like I've worked at a lot of shops where I'm the only artist left there. The owner comes in to collect the money out of the fucking safe, and there's a line of people out the door. He won't even stop to do a fucking tattoo to help me
Let alone
out
take paperwork.
while
Yeah.
I'm paying him 50% of what I'm making.
Yeah.
And he wants all the fucking money when he can keep 100% of whatever he fucking does.
Yeah.
it's shitty, and you get stuck in those situations. So you have to adapt as yourself,
Yeah.
and learn of the customers, man.
Yeah.
Like, dude, at one point we could sit there and watch a person pull up, and I'd be like, dude, he wants a nautical star,
Yeah.
and then we would bet on
yeah.
where he wanted it at,
Yeah.
on both arms
Yeah.
or both shoulders,
Yeah.
both his calves.
Yeah.
I mean, we did them all the time. You could almost call that shit out. It was like it get like
That's the best game,
so
though.
I used to say, like, this is lion month, because I would do nothing but lion tattoos all month, and then next month it's owl month. It's crazy how, but so many people live in a box, and we
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Usually tattoo artists don't. We're a little bit outside the
Yeah.
curve. We're a little bit more susceptible to conspiracy theories. We're a little more open-minded about
we're
things.
in
We're-
tap with fucking everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love-
And you have to
yeah.
adapt. We deal with all types of customers, not the poor, not the drug addicts, we deal with all of them.
The
all
schizos and
of
the
every-
brainiacs.
different personalities. Just like me being a mentor, David, Justin, Kylie, Chance, John, completely different personalities. All of them have to be approached differently. I can't bitch at one the same way I bitch at another. You know what I'm saying? Because Justin's a pussy. He'll fucking quit because he's a pussy. You can't tell him something without him being a pussy about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You have to adapt to the people you're around. You have to adapt
Yeah.
to your customers. You have to learn how to talk to them, man. And
Yeah.
like I said, there's key words you can use, and I'm also a firm believer of this. Words are power.
Yeah. Words are spells.
Yeah, words
Yeah.
are spells, and using correct English, saying things. When you say a sentence and you have probably in it, then people notice the word probably before they notice the rest of the sentence.
There's some
Just
uncertainty
leave
there.
the words
Yeah.
out. Yeah. So you just have to learn how to talk to people.
Yeah.
Saying before you say something, that's a
The
Yeah.
filler phrases.
yeah, you sound
uh.
stupid. Really, honestly, you're not using power correctly. You're not using
You don't
your
sound
words
as confident when
correctly.
you
Yeah.
don't have a full
Exactly, it's
string
just-
of words together.
That's why I
Yeah.
said keywords. This is not, or this is something I will not like
Guarantee.
guarantee. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that right there in itself solves so many problems. Just saying those few
Yeah.
words. That's all it takes, man.
Yeah.
Words are power.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Hitler used words to make all these people do dumb shit. And
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
just used words. It's always words.
Yeah, to
you
an
know?
extent, tattooing is kind of like learning to manipulate people and just kind of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, Roxy used to
it's
say
just
it all the time.
you have to use it to your benefit to get people to get good things
Well, be
and
a
not
good
make
person
poor-
about it.
Yeah,
Be a
it's
good
not using
person
your
about it.
you have to
Yeah.
use your powers for good.
Yeah, don't take
Like-
advantage of them.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
Spider-Man, dude. You know
Don't-
what I'm saying? Like,
With great power comes great
Yeah,
responsibility,
exactly.
100%. And
You-
like with more power, more pain. Like
Roxy
you
used
use
to
that
say
shit,
it
it's
all
gonna
the
be
time,
terrible.
dude. People don't come in wanting tattoos. They saw somebody else with a tattoo, and that's what they want. They want the tattoo they saw on somebody else. It's usually
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
how it works. It's very far in between.
Yeah.
And damn, I missed that. I had another good point I was gonna say, but
That's super true though. What you were saying.
Yeah.
I mean, like the fucking. There's a Steve Jobs speech whenever he was still alive. He said something about like talking about iPhones. He's like people didn't know they wanted iPhones, but then like once everybody has one, everybody saw them and saw what they can do. Now we all have computers in our pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually have a quote from that fucking speech. You remember Gotti?
Anthony,
Yeah, yeah,
Bugatti,
yeah. He tattooed "Stay hungry" big as fuck across my
Is
belly.
that what's right there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's not around anymore. Did you know that?
Well, I was
Like
keeping in
live
touch
or-
with him for a while, but I haven't talked to him because my Facebook got hacked. But I kind of lost touch with him.
Yeah, he
What are y'all
fucking.
doing? Making out or something?
Hell yeah, nice. Yeah,
Smoking
Gotti.
smoking poles.
Gotti fucking not this past New Year's, but
Well, I
the-
know he was partners in a shop.
yeah, yeah. Well, no, he was like Mr. Nationwide. No, this not this past New Year's, but the New Year's before, he fucking shot himself.
Nah,
Swear to God,
he killed himself.
he did.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, he was a real happy-go-lucky dude, but
Yeah.
that could be a red flag. You know, you're like, damn, this dude's a little too.
I mean, I'm all about suicide for sure, but like I understand why people do it now. Like I
Yeah.
get it. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you just
Well, especially as tattooers too.
Yeah.
You know, like we're so high strung.
I get it. like I've thought about it plenty of times. The only reason I don't do it's because of my daughter. I have
Right.
somebody here that I need to
Like an
take
anchor.
care of.
Yeah.
Other than that, I might have checked out a long time ago, but that's all your own personal reasons. We
Yeah.
don't have any, you know.
You gotta fight.
Like
find
I've
your reason
lost
to
a lot of
stay.
friends to suicide. That shit
Yeah.
sucks. That sucks. I didn't know that because I lost
Yeah.
touch with them.
Yeah. Now that happened, yeah, it sucks. No, but okay, so looping back around instead of going down this dark road. Like what we were saying about being, because there, a lot of what you were saying before about like being able to read clients, like, because we as tattooers, we have to wear many mantles, right? You know, like we there's a lot of, you know, job type. Like if this was a corporate entity, there's a lot of like things that would be allocated to one specific individual that we have to do
Well,
for
let me
ourselves.
interrupt real quick.
Go
So
ahead.
that's why Roxy is called Roxy. Like his real name's Brian Burris. Like his name's not Roxy. He's
Right.
That's his tattoo
Yeah.
persona. Like that's
Yeah.
who he is. That's who people want to get tattooed from.
Uh-huh.
Is Roxy. So that's why he did that. He created that
Yeah.
to deal with the customers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So-
Right. That was mandatory back in the day. Everybody had a fucking tat name.
Yeah. Well, not next to like that was. That's not even a tat name. It was like his persona. You know.
Yeah.
It's like who he is.
Yeah.
That's his tattoo persona to get people to get tattoos, like,
Careful.
and then it's Brian Burris
No,
when
I
he's
haven't really
at
noticed
home,
that.
I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
I kind of like the like professional tat dog. That's just it's my first and last name at this shop.
Cute. I like it.
But so yeah, like we wear many mantles, right? I mean, like especially nowadays, you got to be everything: social media coordinator, fucking consultant, fucking tattooer, graphic designer, fucking all this shit. But you know, one of those mantles is like fucking mind reader. You know, you got to be on that hard read. Like, oh, I can see the way you're dressed. I know what you fucking want, and I can speak that language.
It's people
like,
reading, or just kind of like.
Well,
just
yeah, I
learning
mean,
to
they
read
used to
or
tell
read
us
the
to
room
like
and
look
people.
at their shoes when they first came in back in the day.
That's
you
the
know, like,
most
Yeah.
linguistic.
look
car
at
they
what kind of
drive.
car they
Yeah.
drive. You know that
Yeah.
like
Shoes and car.
you base that a lot on what you could get,
Yeah.
do, and stuff with customers. But yeah, it's different. It's now there's more people coming into tattoos than there ever was before. It's because
Yeah.
of the like that's the only thing I give to the TV shows is that open that up. Other than that, it's been a negative thing on the industry in my opinion. Like.
Yeah.
I remember when the shows came out, there was this huge surge of people just opening up shops that didn't even tattoo, and then a huge surge of people just fucking wanting to be tattoo artists that didn't want to go down the right path, that wanted all the quick and easy way. And then now, look where the industry's at. You know, it's like so it's oversaturated, and
Yeah.
no shops like Fort Worth should only have like 5, maybe 10 shops, not almost 200. You know, like
Is that serious? Is that a real figure?
yeah, it was like 190 something back in my day. Like, I'm sure a
No
lot of
way.
them closed, or not
There's-
back in
yeah,
my
there's a
day, but
lot
like
here in
a
Fort
few
Worth.
years ago, it was like 190
200
of
though?
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like Fort Worth and like the
There's,
surrounding area.
Like,
Over-
dude,
just over by
people keep
Cider Cave, there's
naming
like
off
3 in
shops
Berry
to me I've
Street.
never even heard of, like all the time. I'm like, where'd your TNT tattoo or this
They pop
tattoo?
up
I've
and
never
close
even heard
down
of these
so
shops.
quick,
Like,
dude.
there's a
I
lot of
was
shops.
telling you about because I
Yeah,
had a
the other
consultation at TNT.
But that's what I'm saying. There's like, I've never even heard of that shop.
I think TNT is pretty solid. They're-
Dude,
they're-
they got some good tattooers there.
Yeah,
Also,
they're-
have you
they're a
been
bad
inside-
example,
Have you been inside
but-
that shop?
but I know people that have worked there and
Fucking
shit.
beautiful, dude. It's
What's that dude's name? It's Bob Z's brother, right? It's something. It's like a husband and wife that own the shop,
I don't know. I had a consultation.
or maybe
with
sister,
somebody else.
brother, sister. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't mean. Those relationships are not interchangeable. I know this is fucking.
But honestly, you could be a person that has money that doesn't know how to tattoo and open up a shop in a really good location
Yeah.
and make money. Get some tattoo artists to come in and you'll
Yeah.
make money.
I mean,
and
you
you'll
build-
make money off of shitty tattoos, which is
Yeah.
the worst part.
Yeah, yeah.
Good-
That hits on a
That's-
theme from earlier that
Yeah.
that I wanted to talk about was that, like, you know, it sucks because if you go into tattooing with like fucking artistic integrity and like, you know, all the ethics that everybody here fucking values, you may not be an advantage in some shops because of the fact that, like, it's like, oh, you don't want to do this tattoo because it's outside your comfort zone. That's cool. We'll just have this fucking apprentice do the tattoo, and it's like they're willing to do a fucked up tattoo because they don't know any better, and it's like,
I did respect like Roxy for he would tell people like, no, we don't do that kind of stuff. There's like 30 other shops right down the road that'll do that type of trash and fucking send
Yeah.
them right on their way, you know.
Yeah.
And I respected that, but at the time we were also booked up every day,
Yeah.
solid, you know, making $2,000 a week or more, you know. So,
Yeah.
and that was back in the day before. Now you're doing $1,000 tattoos every day on, you know, or I don't know. I guess everybody's jacked their prices up to that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot less money now than it was then, for sure. But even then, I mean, like, if I fucking had that much, that's a substantial tattoo. That'd be fucking sick. I feel like, you know, it's not nearly as lucrative now. Like, this is how I can tell I really like tattooing, because I'm still, like, fucking doing it, like, now, because, like, fucking, yeah, it's a lot less lucrative. Like, there's a lot more of, like, the fucking, feels a lot more like being a starving artist nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love being a tattoo artist because I've worked in other fields and stuff before I was a tattoo artist. And
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable doing this type of job. I'm free to do what I want to do
Yeah.
when I want to now, but I had to earn all of that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It wasn't like that in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like that the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, for years I showed up and did what everybody else wanted me to do all the time until I learned better.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think what the other thing was. We were talking about like reading clients, and there was like something else that we were talking about just now that was like another one of those like mantles that I felt like is like super crucial for being like an effective tattoo artist. I guess it's being a tastemaker. You know, it's like and that kind of goes back to the whole like fucking
Curating clientele almost.
not curating clientele, but it's like curating art for. I guess it kind of goes along with like
okay.
the Steve Jobs thing. It's like fucking
Reading the wave.
reading the wave and being able to introduce something to your potential clientele that maybe they didn't know that they wanted. And like last week we were talking about this because we were talking about like fucking whole sleeves of clouds and shit, and then you're like, hey, how about a dove in that cloud sleeve? And they're like, bro, you know, like, you know, that's the most basic version of it possible. But it's like, you know, if you're on the hard read and you're like, okay, so this dude like thinks of clouds as being like a religious tattoo, and you're like, well, how about like a fucking stairway to heaven and a fucking dove and you know, I don't know what like religious tattooing is its own
Three
whole
crosses or some shit. I don't know.
yeah, the fucking the silhouetted hill with the three crosses
behind the gates of heaven.
Yeah. You suggest that, and they're like, bro, that's exactly what I didn't even know I wanted that. And I mean, but that kind of that's like I said, that's the most basic version of that situation possible. But the more integrated that you are into tattoo culture, the more that you have like accrued this like the pictorial language of tattooing, the more that you're able to effectively act as that like conduit to like what someone's imagination may be. Because I think that that's also like something that we're getting paid for, not necessarily even like the work that it takes to sit there for 3 hours and fucking tattoo somebody. It's the hours that you've spent looking at tattoos. So, you know, that sheds like a positive light on like all the time that we spend fucking scrolling on fucking Instagram, you know, because it's like you're picking up ideas, you're picking up on cultural memes that are tattoos and shit like that. And yeah, maybe it's not the best thing to be like taking your cues from other people's tattoos as much as like, you know,
Well, those good artists aren't usually doing that though.
yeah, I agree. Like they're
looking outside the box. Or
when you're looking at their tattoos, you're looking at the fruits of their effort instead of like the roots of like the whole thing. So I mean, the more that you can look back on like, you know, if you're looking at like Renaissance paintings for inspiration, then you're probably doing the right thing. But you know, it's like, how does that translate to your skill set, I guess is the question.
For me, like figure drawing.
Yeah, figure drawing's huge.
That is just the biggest thing, because people always want some form of either hands, body, or something.
well, illustration's a really good style to learn because
Yeah.
that's what we do. We illustrate a lot of.
That's the other thing that got me into tattooing, just fucking illustration.
Yeah.
Just books in general growing up, and just like, oh, I fucking love illustrating. However,
Yeah.
illustration by itself was very boring.
I got a cool ass book this week, or maybe last week. It was It's like it's probably like the 9th edition of this fucking cartooning book from this dude that used to work for like Disney and shit.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. Because you think about cartoons, and they're the most like stripped down version of that like pictorial language. You know, taking something that's like such a simplistic image and having it be able to convey all these
Especially like in
different.
that early era where they're doing it panel by panel, drawing
Yeah.
every
That's
single
why
motion
it's so
of it.
simple, though. So
It's
Yeah.
like you have to make you
Yeah,
have to
make
make it
it-
simple so that way you can actually make it form and proper and where it's not too many moving parts and
Yeah, you're making hundreds of versions of this same little simplistic image, and you've got
just to
like
move like 2 feet.
yeah, you and
Well,
you
like so many of those early what's the
Like
fucking,
30s
that one-
rubber hose
yeah,
style.
rubber hose. What's the
cartoons.
cat? Felix the cat.
Yeah,
like
Felix
that.
the Cat.
That in itself lends
Yep.
himself so well to traditional black work.
Yeah.
Just too easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest advantage of like those being such simplistic images is that it makes them so versatile in terms of like what they can convey. And I think that like, you know, it's funny that a lot of the time whenever you're trying to, you know, if you're not on the hard read and you're trying to sell somebody that maybe isn't into traditional tattoos on getting a traditional tattoo, and they're like, that looks too cartoony for me. You know, it's like, first of all, fuck. Like, hang on, I need a minute to emotionally repair from how much that hurt me.
Just the Patrick just
Yeah.
gotta get my gears and bearings again real quick.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's like that's it's a very very expressive phrase to hear from a client. You're like, okay, you know, like if they say that, and you know, you can.
So yeah, that's just how you feel, you know.
Yeah. But you know, I don't know. Like there's something of value about the whole like expressive nature of cartoons and shit like that, and just like that illustrative approach and how versatile it is with such simplistic imagery. But I don't know. Like with like realistic imagery, like I don't know. It's just weird because it's so like on the opposite end of the spectrum. You know, it's like something I wanted to mention earlier is how I find it interesting that a lot of contemporary art comes in the form of such stripped down minimalistic things. If you look at contemporary art, like in the post photography era, you know, it's like you look at like fucking minimalist art and it's just like a stripe across a fucking canvas, you know. And now
I don't consider that art.
And then now
Well,
we have
yeah,
people
yeah.
who just get a single band and they call that a fucking arm sleeve.
well, yeah, that what I was gonna say is that the tattoo equivalent of that is like these people who like I don't know how much they fucking charge, but like you know you see these minimalist tattoos and it's like a fucking line that like starts on their cheekbone and then like goes down their neck onto their
Seen those
chest.
shits.
Yeah, and it's like I mean I guess like
Whatever floats your boat at the end of the day.
yeah, there's something going
Yeah,
on
but you gotta
there.
remember that we're living in this like new era where everybody's face and hands and shit are all what you see. It's all on the screens and your Instagrams
Yeah.
and photos and shit. So that's why they want
Yeah,
tattoos like that.
Yeah,
'cause
these
they-
very
that's
striking-
what's all on them. where
Yeah.
they can show it off. We're
Yeah.
living in a way crazier time than ever before because a person that has no skills or abilities can easily become followed by millions of people,
yeah,
and that's like unprecedented if you think about it. Like
yeah,
all of a sudden you threw a bottle up and it landed on its spot like it's supposed to land normally, and then you go screaming and then all of a sudden you have a million views and
yeah,
you're like put on this. That's craziness. Think about it, like
yeah.
even back in the day, like Kings might not even had 1 million followers, but all of a sudden now some douchebag has 1 million followers.
Flips a
Yeah.
water bottle.
Yeah, bottle flips,
it's-
dude.
We're living in a really crazy time.
Yeah.
That type of stuff
That-
works like that,
If
you know.
if life is our medium, like, that's the medium that we're working in. Like
And
fucking
then now everybody's pushing the envelope on everything. People
Yeah.
are doing paintings upside down with candles and just letting it burn the canvas, or nailing some nails into the wall and wrapping strings around it, or
And they flip it
taking
over
a
and-
ball peen
yeah.
hammer and tapping it into glass and doing a portrait.
Do the big
like,
reveal.
There's so much crazy things that
Yeah.
you have to do to separate yourself on a
Well-
whole nother level. It is almost exhausting.
Well, okay, so like within those two examples you just gave, like the interesting thing about that is that there's obviously a lot of background skill in that. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
if you're-
yeah, that person took the time to fucking be badass at it.
Yeah,
know? That's
yeah.
commendable in itself.
yeah, and it's just weird because yeah, it's like you could have all this, you could have this massive, diverse fucking skill set, and then just the method in which that becomes like of use to the public is in such like an obscurified way.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just mind blowing. I mean, like tattooing is a fantastic medium for that kind of behavior too, but it's like it's just weird how you have to think about like the thing that you present to the public, you know, like the way that you sculpt your social media presence, you know, the way that you navigate these fucking algorithms on fucking social media. It's just it's and the way that you work with your skill set too, like whether you have like a super diverse skill set or whether you have a limited skill set and you're just like playing to these strengths that you have, like it's just yeah, it's a big game, and it's like such a weird it's such a weird time to figure out how to like navigate that, because it's like, yeah, we're young, but I mean like fucking I'm old enough to have seen like a time of like so many different approaches, you know, like especially with tattooing, you know, like we were saying earlier, you used to have to fucking like send a picture of the fucking shop license to be able to get your shit. You used to have to, you know, like I remember a time whenever like MySpace was a thing, Instagram wasn't up yet, fucking.
Even last year, there was a lot of places that I was trying to order from that I had to put what shop I worked at to get supplies, and now this year people give a fuck less.
That's
Just
how
anything and everywhere.
That's how Dan Cuban.
Yeah, even those trucks, dude. I could literally bring somebody off the street and have them buy shit right off that truck
people
if they
come
wanted.
up. I don't know about y'all shop,
As
but
long
people
as
come
they're
up to our
standing
shop
next
all the
to
time
me,
asking if y'all sell stencil paper or hand draw paper.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Fuck
always
no.
tell people
Go fuck
no.
yourself.
Yeah.
Amazon. If you if you want it that bad, wait a couple days.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, bro, fuck off. Like, go figure shit
But
out.
I'm not against taking $20 for one sheet of stencil paper. either.
I mean, if I really need it. At the
Nice.
same time, it's
I
like,
don't really need it.
what
I'm just
nefarious
saying I'm
reasons are you
going to
be using that for?
I gotta pay $70 for the box.
I can see like stencil paper or gloves or
I just
something.
don't
Maybe
like the
not.
aggressive way they usually like cholo walk into my
Yeah,
shop.
no, certainly
No,
not.
not
Certainly
my
not
shop,
needles or
Entry
anything
shop.
like that though.
But I usually shut that down pretty quick too, you know,
Just like,
because
what's
we've had plenty of dudes
Oh,
coming
I'm
here
sure.
just fresh out of jail wanting a job because they tattooed in jail, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyson
Yeah.
would always be all like, "Do you have a portfolio?" He's all like, "No, I can't take pictures in jail." We're like, "Okay."
Real as fuck
Like
for that.
that tells me everything I need to know.
Tells me you ain't trying hard enough. You ain't got no picture phone in there.
Yeah, right.
You ain't keys from that shit.
Dude, there was this flash set that was drawn a long time ago. I think Roxy had a set of it. That's how I saw it. Badass artist went to jail. He just drew on envelopes that he sent to his
Yeah.
wife, and she put them together, made a flash set. It was sick as fuck.
Yeah.
They're just badass drawings on the envelopes he would send
Yeah,
out.
that's a good way to get money on your books.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Just pen and
It's
paper.
a good
It's
way to
all-
fuck. Yeah,
The
it's
bare
already-
minimum.
Yeah,
Get
entrepreneurial
some
as
color
fuck.
and pencils and shit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hell yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a fucking
Yeah, all
way.
them
Yeah.
other dudes, you ain't shit, bro.
Yeah,
You ain't nothing. You're just a scumbag.
yeah.
Heard it here first.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, you know, tattooing in general is like a such a conduit to entrepreneurial energy. I mean, we see it with people who fucking are from the outside, fucking trying to exploit this shit. I mean, like people who do not tattoo are like now making a lot of money off of it. Like, if you have a little bit of like entrepreneurial energy, like tattooing is a fantastic fucking place for that. I mean, like you see it with most tattooers that are like approaching 50 and shit, and they're thinking about like, oh fuck, you know, I hadn't saved a whole lot of money. Fucking, I got to figure out some way to fucking like. I got to figure out some kind of passive income.
In
You know?
plan, yeah, I get it. I'm in that zone
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I mean, like 10 years ago, it was really easy to just introduce some product that's like slightly better. You know, it's like fucking. Because I remember like fucking. It was like I got in like right when fucking people had finally stopped soldering their own needles. I remember fucking sterilizing stainless steel tubes and. You know, it's like fucking. So you make some kind of basically like if you're a little bit older, you want passive income. You make some kind of a fucking product that's like you know, whether it's like disposable stainless steel tubes with a cork grip or some fucking
Or a badass
tattoo
tattoo
glide or
machine or something.
some
stencil stuff.
yeah. There's a reason why tattoo machine building is like almost more protected than tattooing is because it's like fucking that's good. Like that's a good thing. I mean, but I don't know. Tattoo machines are super accessible. Not everybody uses fucking dildo pins now
yeah,
too. So machine building.
that's the thing. Machines are accessible, but coils and building your own machine isn't as
Tyson
accessible.
uses one.
Because I mean, the price
Yeah,
point
that's
is
fine.
completely different. Like say like we were just talking about like the Adam Safari build your own kits being $250.
Yeah.
Like for us, that's okay.
That's good. That's
But for somebody
fantastic.
who's like trying to get
Well, I
a
used to
kit,
have that green machine you could buy.
Yeah, the
and-
Icon green machine. Yeah.
just get a
like
fucking
$100
Dragon
and
Hawk
put it
kit
together or
off
something.
Amazon for $100, including dog shit ink.
Well, okay, so
Well,
So, like,
Spalding
that being said,
and
like-
Rogers, I think, was the first company. I remember they would have their ads in a magazine
Uh-huh.
where you could buy a whole tattoo kit where it would come with a stove top sterilizer
Hell
and two tattoo
Yeah.
machines with
Yeah.
a bunch of plastic parts and fucking
Yeah.
shit ton of crappy ink and needles and everything and some gloves and all
Yeah.
this like
I would
little
love to get a
sample.
cut out of that.
Yeah.
Dude, and that made a big uproar back in the day, but
Yeah.
nobody did nothing about it. Nobody like
Yeah.
all we had to do is stop that company from selling it to the general public, but nobody did, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much where it started, in my opinion. Was
Yeah. No, you're
I
right.
remember motherfuckers. I used to do tattoos on customers, and I would tell them like, "Hey, bring me all your tattoo equipment, and I'll trade you for a tattoo."
Yeah, I've done that.
Or I'd even just buy it off of them,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't have that crap out there.
Yeah.
And I would throw it away because
It's
it wasn't
different
You're-
now,
that's
though. It's
that's
too
two birds
easily
with one
accessible,
stone right
though.
there.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Yeah,
only
now
are you
there's-
disabling the
I was
shit
trying
artists,
to, but it.
you're. I mean, yeah, if they
then
really
the
want to,
TV
they'll go
shows
out and get more
happened, and
shit.
It was
Yeah.
all over.
Well, used to they'd accidentally bring you some badass machines too, like fucking. When
No,
they-
Oh
know
yeah,
what they
every
have.
once in a while you could get like a Danny Fowler or
Yeah.
some, like it would be like, wow, how the
Fuck did you get
yeah,
that?
yeah, exactly.
I just zip it up real quick, like
Yeah,
$200.
yeah. I guess I'll take this. Yeah,
I'll take this for $50. Hell yeah.
yeah.
This
No,
whole kit, throw everything away but this one machine after I strip it down and clean it.
yeah.
I hated that shit. 'Cause man, all I ever could think about was like, man, how contaminated is this fucking shit?
Some nasty
Yeah,
ass
it's
shit.
like,
How
yeah.
much Hep C's on this
Have to touch
motherfucker right
everything
now?
with gloves and immediately throw it away after I look through it.
Hopping in the fucking
And
hazmat
I
suit,
half the
clean that
time
thing.
wouldn't keep nothing, like nothing. So maybe a power supply if they had a power unit or something that was decent.
yeah, it's-
but that'd be it. Maybe a foot pedal.
Power supply is decentralized enough from the contamination.
But
I
the
guess.
machines were always usually crap.
Rusted to
Like,
fuck.
Oh yeah,
shit.
yeah, and that's only worse now too, because
Yeah.
there's so many fucking cheap machines. Like, so there's two things I wanted to hit on.
Well, yeah, Chance
There's
bought that
shit-
one
there's,
machine. He's had nothing but problems with it.
There's
Oh, yeah.
Precision makes a $30 machine on fucking Painful Pleasures.
Well, ba-
Coil machine.
back when I was coming
Like,
up, Icon
they're super
and
accessible.
Yeah,
was making really cheap light machines that were super dope, and then fucking
Mickey Sharps.
Mickey Sharps. God damn, I keep drawing blanks.
I heard Mickey Sharps.
R.I.P.
Been a long night.
Dude,
He's not dead, but he's done
I
making
know,
machines.
dude. I want a shader from him real bad. And
But
it's
yeah,
gonna be a lot more
his
expensive.
machines are reasonably priced for a really good fucking coil machine, dude.
Yeah.
Especially his liners and micro dials are like.
Really?
I mean, yeah, the micro dials, dude. That's pretty much the most popular geometry that people use to build their machines off of was his micro dial design. And I have two of them. I love them. They're amazing liners. I miss coil tattooing just because of those.
yeah.
And then I have I think it's a Derek Jefferson shader.
Mm-hmm.
Hits like a jackhammer. It's perfect for black and gray. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I would love to use those again, to be honest. But I don't like being attached to wires. I'm sorry. I love the freedom of not having the wires
That's gay,
connected to
Super
everything.
Yeah.
Super gay. Yeah. But okay, so you mentioned the Spalding and Rogers like making shit accessible. I was reading. I've got this Milton Zeiss book, and Milton Zeiss was like early 1900s, and he was like offering like an alternative to an apprenticeship. And it was like mail order alternative to an apprenticeship. Like, send me this much money. It's this price. This is the cash price. This is the whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's crazy to think that like fucking the whole premise of skipping your apprenticeship to fucking pay somebody some money for something that you may or may not have the initiative to learn at home. It's a 100-year-old concept. And that kind of like blew my fucking mind. Because the first time I flipped through that book, I didn't even like, because the book's probably 10, 12 years old. But like, I didn't even think I didn't give that a second look at the time, but reading through it today, I was like, oh shit, like
Yeah,
fucking
there's a lot of knowledge in it.
yeah. Well, it's just the crazy how the I guess the precedent or whatever, like that set, it has modern equivalents, you know, and that really fucking blew my mind. And then plus there's like some cool fucking designs in there. We're getting ready to fill a get what you
I
get
did
machine.
read through that book when I was apprenticing at one time. Somebody had it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a really fucking cool book. But yeah, I don't know. Like machine building is weird, and it's I don't know. Like
It's weird. It's not really weird. It's just there's just only a certain amount of people that can do it right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
well,
yeah.
okay. So the reason I say it's weird is because like. You know, you said you didn't want to sound like the conspiracy guy mentioned in certain things. I don't want to sound like that anti-corporate America kind of dude. I mean, like, yeah, fuck the corporate world, but like,
No, I agree. I mean, people are sheeple and
Yeah.
in a box, and
And with
you see
tattooing's-
that every day almost with tattooing.
it's better off.
And people want the same exact designs.
Yeah. Well, no. What I'm talking about though is machine building though. Like you know, it's better if all aspects of the tattoo process are like left to be more organic, right? But like a lot of like these like rotary pens, it's like fucking if you're like a at-home machine builder, like you know, coil machines can be built by hand. Fucking rotary pens, like it's kind of in a pretty high barrier to entry in terms
machine shop or machining, and
of yeah.
I get that, but you do need machining to machine out the frame of a coil machine. You know,
I mean,
like
yeah,
I remember when
ideally,
Roxy
yeah.
built some, he needed somebody to cut out the geometry to the design. He came out of the solid pieces of iron. You know.
Yeah. I mean, the machines that I like, yeah, like they're CNC machines. I've got like workhorse machines that I like a lot, and like you could tell the frame is like CNC'd, but
I mean, Aaron Kane's one of the first break-off artists to build machines, and he does it out of all types of crazy materials,
Yeah.
meteorites, supposedly meteorites, and you know, like all types of different metals, and he does all that work, and they're expensive hand-built machines, and they're nice, you know. And
yeah.
I'm sure they all run great. I've always heard about them always running good, and
Really, I've heard the opposite. I've always heard of people hating the way they run.
I've heard a lot of good things about them. Maybe it was just collectors collecting them.
Yeah, they want
don't
it to
know-
run
they don't
good.
know what the fuck
They're
it
like,
is.
bro, this machine looks so fucking cool. I
This
I
thing's live as
want
fuck."
to like it.
Some of his machines look sick as hell. Though.
Yeah. You know, another thing, speaking of his machines, I heard somebody say recently, like, all those, like, frames are, like, not... Because you look at them and you're like, that was, like, carved. You know, like, that was, like, he took, like, a fucking rotary tool.
Yeah.
And, like, I've heard people say that, like, they're not all like that. Like, they're just, like, poured into molds and fucking...
Well, I'm sure at some point when you start getting more of a demand,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
you got to
gotta
do
do
something.
something.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't hand build them all.
Yeah.
I'm sure
This
his
is,
hand built
uh,
ones from scratch cost more than the mold ones. You
From
know?
Yeah.
from what I've seen
I
in
mean,
like
I'd like
firearms.
to think of Aaron Kane as a pretty reasonable dude, but
Yeah.
I've never met him, so I don't know. I just
Yeah.
know I love his style of biomechanical
Yeah.
over
yeah.
most people's.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I had the knowledge I know now, I would have just went to Aaron Kane with whatever $10,000 and had him do a full bodysuit on me. To be honest,
Yeah.
he's one of my favorite artists for biomechanical stuff.
Dude, hot take on biomech. I like my favorite biomech is when somebody who obviously operates from a super traditional tattoo background does biomech. I like
Aaron Kane because he has all hard lines and shit.
that's-
Not like
that's-
Guy Atchison style.
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
His is
that's
more bio like floral bio or
yeah,
something.
the fucking
or more
greens and
organic
yellows and
Yeah.
pinks and oranges. It's fucking lime
Yeah,
as
it's
fuck.
all,
Yeah.
there's like not a lot
Gorgeous.
of line work in it. Like Aaron
Yeah.
Kane's has a lot more line work. To
I
it.
like that. That's for
too.
me.
And it
Yeah,
looks
that's
sick.
I think I actually I use the phrase biomech pretty loosely.
Have y'all
'cause-
never looked at the first issue of the Tattoo Artist magazine?
Well, magazines are like lost on me. Like
Dude,
fucking
no, like just even looking at them
Grimy
online, they're
and
hard to
Aaron
find.
Kane tattooing Guy Atchison's arm.
no
That's sick.
way. That's-
All the first interviews.
You
It's
have
very-
that, don't you?
Yeah, I have it. It's like one of my prized possessions.
yeah, rightly so. That's
You
tight as
take that to
fuck.
the
And
fucking
all the
grave.
besides Paco Excel, who's in it for some fucking reason, all the other artists in here are like hot fucking dogs.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's busting it out. He's gonna bless us with this exposure
I had
here.
this book for so long, it's like barely holding.
It's falling apart. Put it in a fucking controlled climate fucking chamber.
Mike Dorsey, Jeff Zuck. But the whole first thing, dude, it's all like this is when laser was like not even thing. Guy Hutchison has whole arm lasered off the whole top thing, and him and Grimy and Aaron Kane drew this whole fucking thing. It's all step by step. It's fucking beautiful questions, like all interviewed by a tattoo artist while they're fucking doing this shit, asking correct questions. It's sick. But see, that's look at this is all like
Lined out.
hard
Yeah, it's a
line
good
shit.
thing you didn't bring Sean and bring us up when Sean was here, because there would have been nut all over
And
that
then
page
there-
where
yeah,
Brian's
look at
face
that.
was.
There's a guy right there. One of the first tattoo artists to make $1 million in the 80s, fucking tattooing and shit, 90s. That's one of the coolest fucking
Yeah.
bottleneck
Yeah.
sleeves ever.
It's
And
kind of-
it's more his style because that's
Yeah.
so they do.
The
That's
fucking
It's kind of a
how
happy.
it comes out to like a fucking blade and all this other
Yeah.
sorts of shit.
It's
It's
like a
just
happy
so
medium.
fucking cool.
yeah, but they were leaning more towards his style, obviously,
Yeah.
'cause it's for a guy. But
Yeah.
it's definitely got the Aaron Kane and Crimey twist to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that part specifically. It's got that fat fucking. It's almost like a new school tat. You know, it's got that fat fucking outline
Kinda,
there. and then-
for me, like reminds me of like the Phyrexians from like Magic the Gathering. Like they're big,
This
fat,
is-
fucking like talent, like two
Adrian
hands
Lee's
almost.
my favorite artist. So look at this. Look at this fucking shit, dude. Look at this fucking tattoo. Look at this fucking
That's
tattoo.
some high energy shit right there.
fucking welding and shit.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at the free hand.
What is he What is it welding on? What or is it a
Just
fucking?
plant. He was like
Like a
one of the
sun.
first ones to start doing all
There's
this
a little
like,
baby inside there, a little
trippy
tootsie.
color shit, like this type of stuff.
Yeah, dude.
He's one of the first
That's
to do
fucking
that.
nuts.
Look at his black and gray.
Yeah, dude. That,
Just
some
all
very,
light sources.
yeah, very
fucking
interesting light sourcing.
super trippy, fucking neon shit looking.
Yeah.
Doing that shit before any of the anybody else is. That's probably where most of those guys were getting it from, and most of it's all free-handed on. He did this fucking huge. He locked himself in the house for a year, dude. Videoed it and everything of him doing this huge mural. It's so big that they have to custom build the art gallery to put it in. They have to build more walls. And he made a book where it comes out. It literally will. You can walk from that wall, open the book up, and it'll probably string all the way to that wall. And it's just this large, huge mural. Every panel reads to the next panel. It's sick, and it's like this anti-political shit, and it's
Hell
got
yeah.
all this like
Fuck yeah.
this type of art, like this type of anti, like I don't know. It's just, I want to find the book and buy it.
I need to bring
To be honest, but I don't think I
my
remember
Tim
Roxy
Leahy
bought it.
workbook up here next week,
Okay.
because I don't think I brought that up, because I've looked at it a little bit, because he has like all of his body, like a lot of his body suits and stuff like that, back pieces or sleeves that he's done. It's really sick. I haven't got to take like a deep look into it yet, because I'm still, well, kind of in a rut, to be honest. Taking my sweet ass time. Taking time off almost.
And it's got Ron Earhart. I forgot about him in here in his biomech. This is probably like. Oh no, this is So this is like the outline biomech I think you like. With Ron Ear. No, this is Ron Earhart stuff I think. Let's see, it's all the hard line shit.
Yeah, it's got like principles of like new school where there's like it's outlined and there's like line weights in it, and like that's like this whole new like dynamic.
I thought that was Aaron Kane's version. Yeah, this is yep, some cool shit. This book is so old, dude. This is Apocalypse Cell shit. His shit's crap. I don't know why he was in this book. But dude, these old fucking like all these little badass tattoos, dude. Sick as fuck. Old as shit.
I like bio stuff like that where it's done. It's almost approached like new school, you know, almost like the fucking, you know, like new school where it's like the fucking pencil and it's like fucking bending all fucking weird and it's got like weird like tapered line, like sculpted lines and shit.
Yeah, I do that with some stuff. I did a draft like that one time. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, I like that like illustrative approach to things. But then like I also like I've seen a lot of bio stuff where it's like obviously done like it's approached like a traditional tattoo where it's like single line weight, maybe a second line weight. Like there's a dude Steve Byrne who he's done some, I mean he mostly does like traditional stuff, but he'll do like traditional stuff that has like bio elements. It'll be like a fucking tiger head with like a fucking laser blaster eye and shit like that. I like shit like that too. We were talking about last week that like I feel like a lot of that like high energy trad adjacent type shit, I'm afraid that it's like a hot topic for now and that it might in the long run end up being a trademark of having gotten tattooed in the late 20-teens, early 2020s. But who knows? I mean, like that's just the shit that I like gnarly high energy tats. Like
I like so many different styles, dude.
Yeah.
Anything that's just done right is done right.
yeah.
But I think that's what it takes, though. It's to having an open mind and
Yeah.
Liking so many different forms of art.
Yeah, there's like different facets that I like about different people's tattooing, and it might not even necessarily be something that I want to like integrate into my own style because like I don't know. Last week we were talking about this dude Runzo. He just has like a super clean application of things, like intimidatingly so, more so than I want to fuck with because I don't want to have to stress making fucking every fade in a tattoo that fucking clean, but
yeah, but that's what makes a good tattoo.
yeah.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
You got to. It hurts. It hurts.
That's what I was saying earlier. When artists get overwhelmed, you know, if it's overwhelming to do that, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate David. Like sometimes he takes the time, man. I used to bitch at him about it back in the day, but and I started remembering like he takes the time to do the tattoo right, you know.
Yeah.
Man, if he takes him all day to do it right, he does it all day, you know.
He's doting on you, dude. Nice.
Doting on Duder.
No, I don't. He's not of the personality, I think. Yeah.
No, we could blow David all day long, and he'd still just be himself.
He's like, "Are you sure, guys?
We do blow him all day
are you sure you want to keep blowing me? Like, you can stop whenever
Are you
you
sure,
want."
guys? You're being really nice to me right now.
Suspiciously nice.
What do you guys want from me?
I'm very proud of David and Justin and Kylie for sure.
Hell yeah, nice.
And John.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm calling it quits.
Hell yeah. I mean, we've been going for like
Old fart.
Try and polish
It's
off
got to
this,
be like
this
3-4
highlight.
hours.
yeah, we're exactly on the 3-hour mark. So I
Exactly.
think we did pretty good.
Oh, man,
dude,
this is
that's
great.
Plenty
Hell
of
yeah.
Tyson, it was fantastic.
Which is fucking, dude, that's so rare to have Tyson out here. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
dude.
you. And thank you for showing us the magazine.
Thank
That
you
was
for
sick as
sticking
fuck.
around, dude.
it was good. It's a lot of knowledge. But
You made this much more of a cultured podcast than it otherwise would have
man.
been.
it
I'm glad this is
Chance
be
talking
recorded
about
so I can go
fucking
back and listen to
wieners.
this again. Because
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
I have lots of knowledge to share.
Hell yeah.
Well, thanks, Dad.
We'll be here again next week, so.
He's like, y'all aren't gonna keep me here this like every week. So I fucking-
Not every time, whenever I feel spry, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Get some Modelo's and he's good.
Hell yeah.
Modelo's
We'll
and
get
some
some more
weed.
Modelo's.
Hell
Modelo's and
yeah.
weed, and he's good. Dude.
Hell yeah.
No, I got plenty of that.
I'll buy some weed just for that. It's for
Shit,
you.
dog.
That's for you, dog.
Got some moxie calling your name. Don't you worry.
You'll have me fuck around. I'll buy a pound and just ration it out every week.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Jonah would have just showed up with it earlier, probably would have left her.
All right, so yeah, we'll edit out that last part about me buying a pound. But if you got this far, thanks
No,
for
it's all
listening.
good. It's
We'll
all
catch
good.
you
Keep
next
that
week.
in. Keep that shit in.
Boy, it takes to be enough.